Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.
I was waiting on that day. The most see my people free. Ain't no more caged creatures. Grinning cause we finished and we endure to the ending. And we gather with our kindred and we toast it like we did. It feels good when I wake up on.
Can you guys hear me? I hear some people saying that they could not hear the sound anymore. You hear it now? I don't know what happened, but it's all good. We're going to go ahead and start the show. How is everyone doing today? All righty. So we have this show today called The Pros and Cons of Homesteading. Good to see everybody out there today. All right, everybody can hear me. All praises be to the Most High. Yeah, the music could have been going out because who knows? I mean, when we come on these shows, sometimes there's so many things going on. They won't let our elder use the blog talk sometimes. I mean, who knows? Some people say I keep cutting in and out. Really? Refresh and see. Refresh and see. cutting in and out. Shalom, shalom. Some people say they hear me fine. Refresh and see before we start. Some people say they hear me fine. Some people say I'm cutting in and out. All right, let me see here. I just want, they're saying they're all clear. All right, everybody say they sound fine. I just want to make sure before we start, we all good and we fine. Refresh it. Let's see what we got. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Barakatah, bless you, bless you. Barakatah, bless you. Some people saying no sounds. I don't know about that one. I can hear myself in another room while they're listening to the show. I'm still cutting in and out. Some people saying all good. So I'm gonna go for a little bit, and if not, I'll have to just refresh it and start. Shalom, shalom, shalom. I don't know if it's a lag, but I guess we're gonna go ahead and start. If by any chance that you guys hear me still going in and out within the next 5 to 10 minutes, just let me know and I will restart the broadcast. You know what I mean? So I guess for some people, they refreshed is better. So make sure you guys are hitting that like button. All right. Some people said you're good now. I believe it was on my side. So as I go in, if after I give this announcement it's still there, we'll just restart the broadcast. Sound gone? Let me give this. It's back. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. So let's start, man. Let's go ahead and start. You know, we're getting ready to drop some gems. So they like, yeah, we can't let this dude drop these gems. So I just want to make sure before we start that we're all good. So I'm going to go ahead and give the announcement really quick of our Hebrew and Bible Academy. Okay, so we have a new Hebrew and Bible Academy starting. It's going to be starting on February 16th. All praises be to the Most High. February 16th. Obviously, that's 2025. And we have some in-depth lessons on the War of the Gods, the origins of angels, the reason Adam fell. Okay, so you guys can understand that why, as Elder Rawchaa says, that for whatever reason, the way that the world is now, when it comes to the feminist movement that has been pushed. I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm going to tell you guys how deep that is before we go into this. Why this lesson is important. when Elder was speaking the other day in the lesson, I noticed something, how they got the women to indirectly to be gods. What am I saying? That a woman shall compass a man, meaning that they actually got you, no different than a Jay-Z going to a rock concert, throwing up the rock. They got our women through the curses to actually indirectly worship fallen angels. How would I know that? Well, when you put the woman first and you separate the man out the house, you really have the same worship as what you see in the Catholic Church. Mary and the baby for the idol worship. You really have the same thing as the old Nimrod worship, right? Because I think a person asked the question about why do they show Christ as a baby, right? To show the worship of Tammuz, Semiramis. Listen, it's really the same image. When you take the man out the house, now you just have the woman and the child, which is indirectly, even if that's not their intentions, to actually worship. You understand, to worship these false gods and these false idols, these fallen angels. It's the same thing. So we have to bring it back under the order how the Most High had it in the beginning. And it's in the scriptures where you read in the book of 1 Corinthians 11. So women don't even know. They were attacking their own men that they need now. Okay. And the children stayed at home with the mom. So now the image was, instead of man, woman, and child, it was just like they have in the Catholic Church. Mother Mary, that they call her Mary. Mother and the child. That they can actually manipulate, and our whole nation is now torn from this. And all of the internet, when you look over the internet, is still sisters promoting this little, no disrespect, but this little, he looks like he's a little, have Down syndrome or a little retardation, and he has like, his body is dysmorphed or whatever the case may be. This little guy named Shamar. And when I asked it in the class last week, I was shocked that people actually knew who this person was. You know what I mean? But I guess it's kind of hard not to know, because they are promoting they're promoting something that should not be promoted in society. Okay? So Esau, they'll hide their family members that have retardation and different things. They'll hide them in little centers, in little homes that people takes care of them. But they're promoting our brother as some, troll with red hair, blue hair, and he's doing the splits and acting as if he's a woman with a beard. This little young guy in Atlanta named Shamar. This is just crazy, man. Talking about, I'm going to get the bag and all this stuff. I'm like, listen, you could have got the bag maybe he couldn't have. Just rapping, being who you are as a man, but I guess not. It's crazy how he can't get a rap career as a man, but when he changes himself to a woman, that all of the women are accepting this. You have grown men interviewing this person. I mean, this is so crazy, and why the world needs to be retaught. And why did I say all of this? Because the reason Adam fell, hey, let me tell you, the image of the Most High, man, woman, and child, is gone. We have to bring it back. And obviously there's some people out there that's doing it, but it's not enough. And it's sad that a grown man is entertaining this. They're interviewing him, and I'm like, just for views, that you can't pull this young man to the side and be like, brother, is something happened to you? Do you need some help? This is not really who you are. This is how it used to be back in the days. This is how it used to be back in the days. Let me show y'all this young man. If he's on here, I don't know. This is really sad to see. Right? This little young guy. Okay, he has a handsome young boyfriend that should not be his boyfriend. Should be his homeboy or something. Who I think is using him, but they're from Atlanta where these things are very normal. I mean, what is going on in America? This is just crazy to me. Okay, that's why you guys need to come in and take this class, because these are the things that's going on now. These are the things that's going on now. This brother has scoliosis or something, and you know he needs more help. You know what I mean? Than anything. It was just, it's totally disgusting to see this young guy. I mean, he was performing, hitting the splits, and I'm just like, I don't even want to see this stuff. Why is this stuff coming up on my feed? But anyway, that's why we have to get back on track with the Most High. The reason Adam fell, an important lesson, the origin of angels, how this lifestyle is being promoted. Yeah, I know a lot of them are too far gone. I pray that we can bring some of them back, you know. The true understanding of the Antichrist, because for whatever reason, the Christian church is still promoting that they're waiting on one Antichrist. When we are actually having the understanding about how the kingdom is actually already coming through us preaching the word of the Most High and his prophecies coming true. Okay, the Antichrist is already here. It's been here, like Paul said. It's the government system, the beast government system working together. Okay, so we're going to go into a great understanding about that in the Hebrew and Bible Academy. If you're new and you don't know how to get there, all you have to do is go to historytimes.org. I'm going to show a video of why this is important. I'm going to show you a video. Okay? Because the Jewish people themselves, their people goes to a Hebrew academy. Okay? So they really got this lifestyle from our people long ago. So don't think that when you hear Hebrew Academy that that's something new that they created. No. Our people, our lifestyle, Solomon's wisdom that the Most High gave him was taken by Amalek and his counterparts, and now it's being used to put people in debt. And there's knowledge that they're still not giving the people. They're really teaching people in some schools how to not run the world, but how to be subservient to, to the so-called oppressors. To be underlings to the oppressors. Excuse me. Okay? The true doctrine to the Gentiles. I really can't read your comments right now. This is what I want you to do. I would love for you to call in when I open up the lines. Please listen to what I'm saying. Please call in. I cannot read your questions as they come across. Because I want to hear what you have to say. So please do me a favor and call in, okay? Thank you very much. The true doctrine to the Gentiles, because it would just throw me off as I'm trying to speak and read at the same time. Okay? So, the true doctrine to the Gentiles. Yes, the Gentiles can be saved. If you're a Gentile, meaning you are a non-Israelite, if heathen and Gentile is synonymous, they mean the same thing. They don't have to be negative. Unfortunately, they do, heathenistic ways is idol worship and worshiping false idols. We don't need to be shocked about why the Most High called your people, who are non-Israelites this, because your forefathers worship idols. Esau today, he messed up the whole earth. The Most High God have given him power over the whole earth, over us when we fell, but he have taken it too far. Now his own children, which are some of you who may be watching this, you have to it's okay. If you didn't do it, you didn't do it. But you have to understand that because your forefathers did certain things, there's certain things that they're going to go through. And you don't have to go through those things if you repent and turn away to Christ. But that does not mean, you're going to be judged or punished for it. But you can still get into the kingdom of Christ. But you have to understand something. You have benefits we don't have right now in this kingdom. All right? And our God allowed it to happen through the sword, through our disobedience. But when they take things too far, that's an issue. So those of your children who didn't take it too far, and your family members who didn't take it too far, or your tribe, or your lineage or your genealogy who have not taken it too far, those will be the people who will be able to be in their own land in the kingdom, but just on the outer courts of the kingdom. The Israelites will be the actual heirs of the actual kingdom with Christ. They're his bloodline. Nothing against the Jewish people, but they are not the bloodline of the Israelites. They are converted Jews. That's just the truth. They know that. Okay? They know that. You can't blame them for taking advantage of their forefathers' blessings of putting a trap out there and our people just continuing to ignorantly follow it. They're just taking advantage of it. Not that it's a good thing, I'm just saying. Just like the thing that's going on out where our brothers in the native Indian tribes, or the Northern Kingdom, as the Bible says, which are your so-called Hispanics and native Indians, how them and even some of the so-called African brothers, which are really Israelites, a lot of them, coming over here, how they are being deported back to their countries, where the Democrats came through. And no, it's just how democracy works. You cause a problem and you come back to bring a solution. The Democrats knew what was going to happen. The Republicans are, coming back to clean this thing up. And you have people who had families staying over here for years. It's a sad thing to see, but this is reality. We cannot live life in emotions. We have to live life in reality. That's just no matter how we feel, doesn't matter. Reality and prophecy will still happen. So we have to prepare according to that. So, if you guys have, people who need to fix their paperwork, I would try to get on that. These guys not playing. I mean, you had a guy over here with a whole wife who had to go back and her paperwork. So he said, though. This is so he said, was in process. So we don't know how true it is. But it's just sad because these people actually were here before Edom. But this is the thing that you Hispanics out there have to understand. You Native Indians have to understand. You are allowing them to do this to you. Why do I say that? You are worshiping their gods. You are worshiping the Catholic Church. Regardless if you're ignorant about it or not, you need to understand what we're telling you right now. Your God is doing certain things to wake you up, to shake you up, that listen, you are serving the same God, fallen angel, idol, Mary and white Jesus, or Caesar Borgia. That's not Christ. The same people you are worshiping is doing it to you. So you can say the white man is not good, but you're still worshiping this God. So how can God protect you and you're worshiping the white man's God? So please listen to your brothers when we're telling you, stop worshiping the white man's Catholicism, his idols, his Islam, his Hindu religions, and thinking you're going to get protected by the Most High. No one's going to get protected by the Most High except for who believes. And he that believes is baptized. Even if you're an Israelite, he that believes is baptized. And baptized meaning you have signed your soul to the Most High, that you are going to follow all of his ways. These guys are taking American citizens too on accident. Hey, this is not a game. This is what the Most High said was going to happen, that there were going to be an insurrection in every city in the book of 2nd Ezra. So what we're going through is real. It's not going to be some feel-good scenario, even though the Most High is going to help us through it. There's going to be a lot of things we need to do to prove that we love one another, we have each other's backs, and we're going to make it through this. And I don't mean people just living off of each other just because. Every man is going to have to bring his brick. You got some people, man, yeah, we got to look out for one another, but Negro, you ain't trying to work or do anything. That's we're not talking about your kind. If you're able-bodied like the next man or the next woman, you need to get your behind up and do something better. I'm sorry. It's just what it is. You have some people who will just accept failure, accept defeat. Some people will just accept living off the government forever. I understand some people have to do that. I get that. Our people deserve to be able to do that because they built this country. But understand that's not going to be a life of a beggar like the scripture says forever, because you're going to have to take the mark of the beast to get that. So eventually you will have to have faith and move away from that. You will have to. I understand that there's a process, there's a transition, there's a time. But some people, they don't take it serious. Some sisters have just accepted, the white man is just going to be daddy forever. I'm just going to be able to get whatever assistance from daddy forever. Why wouldn't you prepare yourself to be with a man and get yourself right to be with a man? Because a lot of them are single. So the question is, you're on government assistance and you don't have a man? I think it's something wrong with you. Maybe you can't listen to a man. See? So guess what? It's going to be rough for you. There's no Eeyore off of Winnie the Pooh excuses, because there's a lot of different people in the same situation, and you'll have a few who's just staying stagnant and not trying to do better. And when we talk about this tonight, and this is just an announcement for the academy, why it's important to watch this academy. When we talk about this tonight, you'll see the importance of not living beyond your means, so that you can have room and space of time and to think, to be able to continue to get better in life. Okay? So, more live interviews to come is the last topic, because I know I veered off a little bit, but it's important that when the Holy Spirit comes, that we speak the things that the Holy Spirit gives us for the people. And nothing's going to be easy. Nothing's going to be comfortable. So we're going to talk about the pros and cons of homesteading tonight. So we have live interviews from doctors. Okay. We have even some celebrities who comes on sometimes. Okay. People who used to be famous in the world. Okay. You have myself. Sometimes I may come on and drop a few jewels on people. Okay, and I'm not going to drop anything that I don't know. I'm not just going to tell people something just to sound good because I watched a few YouTube videos. I'm going to tell something that I know that I put in action already. Okay, I'm not here to beat around the bush. I'm here to tell you exactly what can be done. And if I don't know it, I will, send you to somebody or give you the information to do it. All of this is in our Hebrew and Bible Academy. Also, you're going to learn Hebrew language. And you're going to learn the original Hebrew, okay, not the modern day Yiddish. Some of you may ask, why do you have to go through this every show? Because there's new people watching all the time. There's new people watching all the time. And I'm going to show you a video on why it's so important, because Paul said we have to put our people in remembrance. Some people work all day and they forget, oh, you know what? I forgot I was supposed to be joining or making my payment, whatever the case may be. We see Esau reminding us every day when they have ads, but when a black man does it, it's a problem. And I didn't see anybody in the chat saying that, but I'm going to answer your question before you ask it, just in case you ever say it. Okay? When you say a prayer every day, the Lord's Prayer, is it not the same prayer? And guess who said it was good enough? The Most High in Christ. Okay? All right, so being repetitive sometimes is a good thing, especially if it edifies. It's a 3-month online Hebrew, Bible, and history course, which includes 12 weeks of live historical, biblical lessons, viewable for 30 days, each Sunday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time via a Ustream private link that should not be shared, because this is your schooling. If they want to get into the schooling, let them take it serious. One thing you have to understand, when you just give people things, like if you just give them knowledge, that's why the Most High said, even with certain books, don't just visit people and say, man, you should check this out in the book of Enoch, when they don't even know the basic Bible. You're giving them all of this knowledge, and they don't even know how to keep the basic laws of the Bible. Okay, if they can't keep the basic laws of the Bible, you're giving them all this knowledge, you might hinder their souls from getting into the kingdom of heaven. You will get PDF booklets to go along with the lessons, so it just makes it easier for you to go along, okay? So you will get news, world news, because we have people on the other side of the world, okay? And Shaphat gives great news from around the globe, all right? So you're going to learn Grammarly Hebrew, powerful biblical lessons that you will not get anywhere else. Okay? So I just want to put this announcement out there really quick. And all you have to do, because it starts February 16th, is go to historytimes.org. Hope you guys are ready. We're going to go into the pros and cons of homesteading, and I want some feedback. So you guys who are typing questions, if you're typing questions and you don't call in, that means you're just not paying attention. So you can type, and I told you I couldn't read it. I would like the viewers and myself to understand what you're saying. If you think I can look at the camera, I have to look at a camera to speak to you, to look at you as if you're staring in my face. If you think I can read that and you understand, look at the camera at the same time and do this, you don't get it. Please call in if you have a question that you want to be answered, okay? You have to understand. You guys be talking, Elder, man, what you think about this? Hey, I can't see every question. But it will be nice if you call in so people can hear your beautiful voice and what you have to say. Okay, you like my background? Yeah, I'm going to have a new background in a second. I'm hooking a few things up. I'm doing a lot of building around the homestead. So we're going to change it up a little bit. So let's talk a little bit about a few things. This show is overdue. And I'm probably going to have another show like this because there's so much vast information. I will probably be coming on the Hebrew Academy to give some other information as well. So stay tuned for that. Okay. So I'm not going to be able to go into every little thing here. All right. One, I'm going to say some pros and cons of homesteading. I have a video I'm going to show. A few pros, just in general. Okay, a few pros. Self-sufficiency. Growing your own food, let me just, I have my notes here. Okay, on Google Docs. I have my notes right here. That way you guys can actually just see here. Okay, if you want to screenshot or write it down, whatever the case may be. Thank you for that. I got me some beautiful water. This is water in my beautiful Game of Thrones cup. And I got some nice hot tea right there waiting on me. So, some pros: self-sufficiency. Growing your own food and raising animals means you rely less on grocery stores and can control the quality of what you consume. Number 2, healthier lifestyle. And we'll show some videos for encouragement. Eating fresh, organic, and non-GMO, genetically modified organisms produce and meat contributes to better health. Plus, the physical labor keeps you active. Now, I'm going to see, can I go out here very soon to some farms, interview some of the people on the farms, and actually bring it to you from G.O.C.C. Media. There's a farm called Major Farms that I get raw milk from, and I'm going to see if they want, because this is free advertisement for them. I'm going to see, can I interview them about their raw milk, okay? I brung to you on my channel, Lion's Homestead, before, the beekeeper, how Mr. Bruce, he's a beekeeper, and I was able to bring him, get some footage of him and bring him on the show. The footage that we did on the show. Live beekeeping, if you can remember back in the days. So for those of you who are new to the channel, I will show you that again. I will try to go to the auction, the cattle auction, and the misconception that people have, the misconception of Israelites is that they're over righteous and they have a lot of zeal, but they don't have knowledge. Everyone is assuming that what goes to the auction has shots in it. That's just not true. That's just not true. Okay. So we're going to talk about that part. Some people just raise cattle, grass-fed cattle, and they make money bringing it back to the auction. That does not mean some of these people do not believe in vaccinations, especially where we are in Texas. There's people who does it, and there's people who, a lot of people don't do it. They're just putting these cows on grass and pasture. So don't assume everything just because you're in Israel. Like, oh man, everybody is old man without the knowledge, without like watching videos of everything you should do, but they haven't done it themselves. It's time for some of you to stop talking and for you to transition and do it yourself. Start very small. It's time for some of you to stop talking and watching YouTube. Misinformation is killing people more than anything. I'm sorry to tell you, misinformation is killing people more than anything. And also, what works for one person will not work for the next person every time. That's why I call people, I call forums, I call formers, and I am trying to even talk to other people in the body, and then you come up with a median for, you know, a median skill set for what you can use, all of the good things that they told you, and you try to use and process just those specific things, and hopefully you get a good outcome. And you still may fail in some areas. You will never not learn. You will never not learn and never, you're just going to always continue to learn. But that's the beauty of it. That's when eventually down the line you can say you've mastered something. Okay, hopefully. But even when you master something, because the world keeps evolving in such weird different ways than we've known before, where all of the fruit trees are grafted on different root stocks so they don't have diseases, for example. Some people want to be these perfect natural Israelites as if we have the kingdom of Christ. Do you know that you can't travel with citrus trees from California to Texas without going to prison? It's like a federal crime. You can't travel with citrus just anywhere. It's a federal crime because you will cause disease to break out in another state. So they will graft certain citrus on certain root stocks so that there's not a disease where you're from. So when you become an Israelite, you're just trying to follow the law. You know what's the funniest part about how you don't understand Christ? That's the least thing that Christ talked about. Not that you shouldn't follow it, but it's called duh. Duh, you're supposed to be following the law on the Sabbath. That's why Christ was showing you when he was walking through picking corn. Because modern day Israelites is learning the way of the Pharisees. The least thing Christ talked about in the gospel was the law. And you have Israelites, the law, man, you can't do this, can't do that. Okay, we get that. But what else are you doing outside of the law? The Sabbath was made for man. But you got people staring in corners. Oh my goodness. I can't move if you putting yourself on punishment in a corner. Christ is like, listen, I'm going to show y'all, like, listen, he sometimes was doing so much work, he wasn't eating. So he was like, listen, I'm going to grab a little stuff on the way because I'm out here doing this work. And when he's doing that, now somebody wants to judge him on something stupid. The law is called duh. The Sabbath is called duh. What other works do you have outside of telling people what to do? Okay, so when you heard him say, think not that I come to destroy the law of the prophets, he had to tell you that because he really wasn't focusing on the law like that. That wasn't his main conversation. He knew he had to come and restore people, be a family man, understand people's pain and what they were going to, relate, be all things to all men. He wasn't going around, you forgot to follow this law. You seen it in Leviticus such and such. Get out of here. You don't understand the gospel. Now that people have to be saved by faith and works. Okay? Not that the law is good for a righteous man, but it's not good for a man who learns it and walks around as if he's perfect. All right, so I'm going to tell you, get up out of here with that crap. All right, let's go. Verse 2, healthier lifestyle. Eating fresh, organic, And before I finish, that's why the Bible said strivings about the law. People, is that all we talk about is the law? I'm going to tell you again, duh. What works are you doing? Who are you helping? What's going on in your household? Is your family growing? Are they being fruitful? Are you healthy? Are you always in the hospital, but you so-called following the law? You following the law, but why you so unhealthy? Why you can't seem to progress in life and do better? If the law is so good, you have no faith. You have no works. So guess what? That's called dead. Let the dead bury the dead. Come and walk with Christ if that's what you said you were going to do. Oh, you don't know. Boy, this sword cuts deep. Eating fresh, organic, and non-GMO produce and meat contributes to better health. Plus, the physical labor keeps you active. Connection with our God. Homesteading fosters a deep appreciation for the land and teaches you valuable skills like gardening, husbandry, right? Preserving food, animal care. When you take care of these animals during homesteading, you actually understand, believe it or not, your children are learning how to take care. They will learn how to take care of their own babies. Sometimes you got to bottle feed some of these lambs and some of these goats. You're learning skills. This is school. I'm going to show you a video of a Jewish man telling you what I'm telling you. The same guy who was talking about people eating McDonald's and all that. Yeah, I forget the brother's name. I mean the man's name. Okay? I can't call him a brother. I'm sorry. Homesteading fosters a deep appreciation for the land and teaches you valuable skills like gardening, preserving food, and animal care. You can learn how perfect our God is and how the ways of the old help us truly understand the scriptures. Okay? Cost savings. Once established, you can save money by producing your own food. This is not just something I'm saying and have written down for notes. This is a true thing. You have to go into it and write down a plan with your family, get some help from local homesteaders or homesteaders in the church, and kind of figure out how this thing works. Do you want to make money from it, or do you really just want to start practicing and get good at it before you start thinking about making money? I think that's the more important thing first. Understanding how your homestead works. Everyone is not going to have 10, 50 acres. Some people may have a quarter acre, half of acre. And a lot of YouTubers are making that work. A lot of YouTubers are making that work. You can have the same system on any homestead, but like a different size. Micro homestead, major farm or ranch, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? But right now as a people, we just really need to start from point A and just slowly graduate, okay? Because we're going to have more than we need in the wilderness. So it's a great time to practice right now. Okay. And people who are doing it right now, they will really, really be beneficial in helping the body down the line with things like this, because this is actually really life, knowing that everything comes from the earth. Okay. Knowing that everything comes from the earth. Excuse me. So, sustainable living. Homesteading reduces your carbon footprint by relying on renewable resources and minimal waste. Okay. Community building. Many homesteaders connect with others for support, ideas, and trading, creating a tight-knit and resourceful network. Like, for example, you can go to little fairground places where your county may have educational classes on homesteading or husbandry or beekeeping. You can actually just find out if your county, call the county to see, or the fairground areas to see if they have local classes on beekeeping. The great part about beekeeping in some parts, like at least in Texas, that you can actually get agriculture tax exemptions on that land if you have at least 5 or more acres. Okay. And also, bees is a business. Homesteading in itself is a business. Just pick one part of homesteading that you would love to do. You want to keep bees for honey. Now, you're going to find that when you first started, you can't do everything because you're trying to learn everything and work at the same time. But eventually, if you take it serious and study, ask questions, learn from others, you would know what you're good at and what you would like to do and what your homestead is actually capable of producing. Okay? Personal fulfillment. There's a great satisfaction in living off the land and achieving independence from our modern consumer culture. And I'm going to tell you something. I just came back and I shot a little video really quick of me building another, you understand, little stable and little barn for my little livestock, the small livestock I have. And it was just the cutest thing to see that lamb. I mean, it was just the cutest thing, man. So here's some cons. And then we will talk more about the pros and cons as we go along. I just want to give you the baseline things here. Time consuming. Homesteading is a lifestyle. I'm going to repeat, it's a lifestyle. Don't hop in it because you watched a few YouTube videos and you got inspired only. You really have to understand that our life is surrounded by this. This is the old life of the old world. You can balance the two. You can actually go to the market. Our sister from Humble Servants Homestead, she goes there, and other people who homesteads and are homekeepers, they know how to go there, get the vegetables or fruit for cheap that they can or preserve for later. You have to learn how to balance both worlds. You can't be over righteous and say, I wanna take a orange seed from the seed and grow an orange tree. I'm gonna tell you right now, we might not even have 5-10 years. And you waiting for that tree, it be time to leave Babylon. You like, I can't leave my tree. I ain't got no oranges on it yet. All you had to do is go and buy you a grafted orange tree that's already growing fruit. And I'm just telling you. And you can grow it in containers if you have bad soil like me. I have bad soil here. It's not good soil. I have to grow everything up above. So, if it be the Most High's will, I in my next homestead, I'm going to really take time and test that soil. Because in the future, I want another homestead with better soil. I just really like to plant in the ground if I can. So I've learned a lot on that part. Some properties are just investment properties for a few years, and then you move to the next situation. All right. So time consuming. You have to know how to fit the homesteading on your schedule. It's not a bad con. It's just you have to know how to fit this homesteading in your schedule. Keep everything simple. Find the most simplest way ever. And something that I found that for me, when I lost a lot of fruit trees. I mean, guys, I am just not a person who gives up. For me on this land here, I lost a lot of trees. I remember sometime coming on, I'm like, yo, I got over 50 blueberry trees. All dead. All dead. I was so busy. I had all these fruit trees, and I still have a lot. I still have a whole lot. But what I'm saying is I probably had as much as a nursery has. Right? Because I remember when I was in Egypt, every week I'm coming home with 2 fruit trees. I just really love husbandry. I love it. Okay. And the freeze or the summer would kill my stuff and this soil. So I had a few issues. I had understanding I needed to add new dirt to this land to level it up, kind of like the people who are building new homes does. That was an issue there. I also had an issue of, so there was too much water, and I found out I had gray clay soil. That soil from old rice fields cannot breathe, does not have good oxygen for your roots. As soon as the taproot touches it, your tree will start to die. Unless you have a very acidic tree that's just it can adapt to any soil. I lost a lot of fruit trees through bad soil, heat without a irrigation system at the time, couldn't hand water. I mean, when you got 100 trees, would you hand watering all these trees? I still have a lot of trees. I probably got 50, 60 right now, but I lost all those trees. I had every tree, name any tree. I'm buying trees from what's the name of this tree company? FastGrowingTrees.com. I had every type of mango. I mean, I had a little garden of Eden. And next thing you know, a freeze came. Killed some of my trees. Some of them actually made it back. And some of that stunted the growth of them. So I put them up in boxes, but I did not put landscape fabric at the bottom. So when the taproot hit, slowed them down. So I had to realize, okay, I had to talk to a few people in nurseries about certain soils in Texas. Sometimes you have to go out and venture out and network with people and keep certain things in containers if you have bad soil, or get topsoil added. You can get topsoil added, but dirt costs. That's another con. Do you want to spend money on dirt? I know a lot of you guys like to spend money on Michael Jordan's. I spent thousands on dirt just for a road on new land. So you need to know, am I getting raw land? If I get raw land, there's a tip I'm going to give you. Dig a pond, use the dirt from the pond, and use that to level your land. I wish I'd have known all these things before. But I have so much faith, I'll just go into it. And I did research on a lot of things, but I just didn't know everything for different types of soil. So now I have horticultural friends that worked at Texas A&M. I have them to call. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of things that I had to learn. YouTube cannot answer every single question because your situation may not be like that person on YouTube. In the freeze, they tell you all of these things to do in the freeze for your trees. Cover it with plastic. The plastic burnt my trees. This year, I have my own method that works because I'm Jake. I said, I'm going to stop watching these YouTubers because a lot of them are lying and just trying things to get views. I have things I'm going to be putting on my Lions homestead now that actually work. That through all the things I've went through, for example, I got painter's cloth. I said, I'm not going to go to the store and spend all of my money this time. I got painter's cloth, the drop cloth. It's like a fabric. It's kind of like it's almost like linen almost. I forget what the fabric's made of, but it's breathable. Put that thing around my trees. I put that thing around my trees. No issues. It can breathe, and it kept them from the frost and the freeze. So my trees did perfect this year. So I am through everything that I've been through, in a lot of homesteaders, you lose certain things and you gain them back. But if you are a person who easily gives up, or you don't have a lot of funds, do more research. Try smaller things first. Okay? I mean, I spent a lot of money on making a road. Thousands of dollars on making a road. And I said, boy, I wish I'd have just bought some land with a house already with a road on it and everything else ready, because it's almost like you had to spend that anyway. And then it didn't come with good soil. And then you better hope that your water well, that you don't have sand in your water well. So it's a lot of different things that it's pros and cons. That the great part about it is when I go to stay in an Airbnb, my lymph nodes were going off, I told you, because of the fluoride water. And I took that iodine, them things went right down. I put the iodine on there, them things went right down. They were showing me it's something in the water. My allergens went off. So I had to spray some stuff on the vents. Okay. And I realized, I said, boy, you can complain, but homesteading, you are living amazing. You're eating fresh bread, raw milk. You know what I mean? You have water that may not be exactly like the city water, but there's no issues with it. That's a big pro in homesteading. It's a big pro in homesteading. And I'm just not one who lays down easy. I had to chase cows. I had to lasso cows. You know what I mean? I had to take down fences, put up fences, try new things. Okay? Because you lose some things to parasite loads on the pasture. I was one of those Israelites. I want my sheep to be eating on the pasture. You know what I mean? But you have to have enough land. Or you have to put electric fences up, make them eat here, because in 6 days the parasites hatch. If they're eating the same thing, the same ground, they're going to get barber pole worm possibly and die within a week or two. So you keep separating them. Or you just give them some dry hay, keep them in a dry area, and you're going to have less parasites. I know for sure. This is what I know for sure. Because the people who I bought those livestock from, they were just feeding them hay in a dry area, and they were not losing sheep. When you just let these guys on pasture, especially in the winter, now you got a lot of sheep and goats dying on because the parasites crawl up and they like to maneuver and manifest way more in the wet times. So I'm just telling you, it's a lot of pros, but it's a lot of cons too. But when you learn how to balance the two, it's a beautiful life. Yeah, you got to make paddocks to rotate them very often. So what I'm doing, sis, what I'm doing now, I'm just keeping these guys in winter in one dry area, like all the guys who I always buy them from. They have no issues. And then every now and then I'm going to let these guys get out to deal with pasture or foraging when it's dry, when the heat is killing the parasites. So that's just the way I'm taking right now, and it seems to be working. Praise the Most High. So I know it's a lot of information, but you guys want to take notes, because a lot of people want to just jump on land, and I jumped on it for you. I'm just one of the few. I jumped on it for you. But I'm a master at what I do, so I don't stop until I master. That's just in my brain. I'm just wired like that. Losing money to me is nothing. I'm not going to lose it like a fool, but if I'm losing it to gain knowledge, to eventually save, and to gain more fruitfulness, I'm fine with that. Okay? So, time consuming, we said. You need to balance your time and make sure you're ready for homesteading. Physical demand. If you're a woman who just wants to move on a homestead alone, man, that's a comedy show. That's a comedy show, unless you have a quarter acre or less. Because the demand of moving hay, do you know how to roll and move a bale of hay? Do you have a tractor? Hey, hopefully you physically in shape or have a lot of male friends, but you might as well have a husband and you got a lot of male friends. Because the work it takes to beat that ground and do all of these things, it's rough. Now, if you go on a harvest after your husband done all of this, ain't nothing wrong with that. But it can be very taxing until you get used to it, okay? Not saying it's not possible, but it's real. This is where the saying is actually making sense. It's real in the field. That's a saying we always say. It's real in the field, literally. Okay? So, tasks like gardening, building, and animal care are physically demanding and may be challenging all the time. If a goat or a sheep knock you on your behind, you might be want to cry in the car, like they said on Friday. It's real. I just grabbed them boys by the horn because I'm pretty strong. I'm like, I had to make sure I can lift, you know what I mean, 400. You don't have to be able to do that. I'm overboard. I'm actually being overboard right now, joking. But I make sure I'm strong, because wrestling some of these cows and these animals, you can actually you can hurt yourself and die if you don't get your animals used to you, and you have like a animal with a bad attitude. That's some cons. It happens, okay? So you need your old country boy. The city boys is cool too, because they make a lot of money, but when the money is gone, oh man. When the money is gone, who are you? Who are you? So hopefully you've made enough money to have some servants or some people on your side who will do things for you. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if you're ever alone, you better pray that you have some type of knowledge of something, is what I'm saying. It would be very helpful in a survival situation. That's all I'm saying. But balance is key. There's nothing wrong with being a city boy, because you know how to make a little money. You know how to hustle and make a little money. But a good balance is very important. Now, I'm a country city boy. I'm good at both. Okay, and I'm trying to just continue to get better, right? So, Initial cost, setting up a homestead, buying land, tools, seeds, and animals can be very expensive unless you are on OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace. There's a lot of things that you can get there. And you can, like me, I like to build a lot of things from pallets. Very similar to this book here called Amish Ways. They will teach you how to build a whole underground greenhouse. I didn't need this book to do that. It's already in me. My dad is a carpenter. So my grandpa's a carpenter. I learned things already as a kid, but a lot of things is common sense for Jacob. Some things it's just in us. I can already see something in my mind and I build accordingly like that, unless I just need to make something exactly a certain way. Okay? I built my shed with my own hands. I built this little thing with my own hands. I don't want to be building everything because I'm trying to get a little money here and work hard. But so the homestead can come with a little taxing. Okay, a little work. Unpredictable challenges. This is a big one. Weather, pests are different in different area. I'm in 9A area. I think Atlanta or Georgia is 9B. There's other areas that deal with colder climates. So you want to get things that are native to your area and your zone that will grow better. Don't try to be getting a tree from somewhere else unless you have it in a greenhouse, a controlled environment. Okay? So weather, pests, and diseases can ruin crops or harm animals, causing setbacks. Everybody has different pests, different parasites, different varmints like rodents or beavers or groundhogs or coyotes or foxes. Everybody's environment is different. Vultures, crows, eagles. Everyone has a different thing. I don't really have an issue with birds. We have eagles and hawks here. Really, eagles don't come around much, but we have hawks. They don't seem to mess with my, oh, you guys there, you guys are 8 and 8B. Yeah, we don't really have a bird problem with my chickens here. We don't really have a coyote problem. Maybe they know I got them things sitting around here with some scopes on them. So they don't really mess with me around here. They don't really come around here. Hogs. There's hogs that can kill you and kill your animals. Some land you get has hog issues. Okay? And hogs are very strong, more than most of your dogs. You can have the best pit bull in the world. I'm sorry to tell you, I've only seen a few pit bulls handle a hog. That's very few. So you can put your pit bull on a camera like DMX. When a hog comes around, I'm just telling you how I go. I'm a Texas boy. I know what I'm talking about. So you best to get your mind right and get ready. Because just like Lion King, Puma didn't come to play. And I know some boys in the streets, when they trying to get rid of some people, they feed them to the hogs. Them hogs did not come to play. They eat bones and everything. So that's why some people got hog forms. All right? I'm just telling you, it's dangerous. Them hogs are very dangerous. I'm a strong dude, but I will pray that I got a blade on me or hit that hog like Digging Along told me, right between the eyes, because those hogs are serious, even the smaller ones, okay? Limited free time. Limited free time. Homesteading can consume most of your day, leaving little time for hobbies or travel. Personally, I don't care about that. I love homesteading. I don't really care about being around too many people. This is the reality of the real world. I'm reading a book called Weapons of Mass Destruction, and it's talking about how schooling was planned all the way from Germany and how it's basically like a little prison system, and how he even said in the book, this Edomite, how people say, oh, your kids need to be social and all of this stuff. Yeah, they do. But he was like, they need to go to a point to where they you know, that they're not worrying about being social, because the real life was homesteading in the old world. Whatever your trade was, you had to grow your own food, go and trade, or go to the little markets that they had stuff. That's how life was. You have to be okay with that, because socialism have ruined our people to a certain degree. Not that socialism is bad, but being social with the wrong people can cause demons to come in your children. And then they bring that back home. Okay? So me, hey, I'd rather be home instead on my own homestead with my rib cooking me ribs in my own bed. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Bars. Okay. Learning curve. If you're new to homesteading, it may take years to master the skills and systems for a productive and efficient lifestyle. Isolation. Depending on your location, homesteading can feel isolating, especially if you're far from friends, family, or city conveniences. Like I said, that don't bother me. That don't bother me at all. I'm totally fine. I go to the gym every day until I finish building my gym, and I might pick up a few things, but I don't have to do that. If you live far, it's better for you to shop in bulk and bring things back. You can buy you a cow, and you'll have that cow in the freezer for a year. You can raise you some chickens, and you can have them slaughtered for a whole year. You don't have to keep going shopping getting that expensive meat. So it's some pros to it. Okay. And like I said, getting a homestead that you can afford is the most important thing. Getting a homestead that you can afford. If you have family that you stay with on your homestead, it has to be family that you agree with and that are teaming up to make sure that land stays on point and that you have a chief on the land, that it stays in order. This is an important thing. Okay, to keep the property value up. I can't read your comment, Elizabeth Walters. You're going to have to call in and let me know what you're saying. And it looks like you're saying some good stuff. A lot of homesteaders homeschool their children. This is because being a homesteader is one of the best educations a child can learn. When you see Esau in the Amish, they're some of the most intelligent people ever because they know how to survive without electricity, without depending on the government. You can have, it's nothing wrong with going to school, but being schooled and being educated is two different things. Being schooled is like you're learning to be in prison. Read the book of Weapons of Mass Destruction. It's not the most exciting book. It's a little boring, but he's going to touch on some things on how it was specifically planned where you got these people coming out thinking they're special because they're getting certain degrees, they're getting sororities, so they can be handpicked by the elite to be their underlings and their slaves. Facts. And you can walk around telling people, oh yeah, I got double masters. And hey, did you find a job in your double masters? Because a lot of black people don't even have the job from their master's degree. Not that, like I said, and you had to go into debt. It's nothing wrong with doing it, but make sure you have a plan and a course of action to pay that debt off. And whatever you're doing, you just really need to have a plan and understand everything you learn, you're not going to remember. Most of what you learn, you're going to forget. And if you're not remembering the things that actually matter when this thing is over, what was it all for? The things you homeschool your children sometimes, you don't even remember. You are resharpening yourself sometimes. Did that make you less successful? No, it did not. It did not make you less successful because you don't know what MX plus Q, whatever, you know what I mean? MC squared, whatever, all of these crazy math problems. You are not less successful from not remembering everything. That's why the Bible says, for example, can a blacksmith talk to a cook? What type of conversation is that? Can a husbandman talk to a blacksmith? Two different conversations. You were known for your trade a long time ago. You were not here to say, oh, I know that too. And so a person can make you feel bad because you don't know something. You shouldn't know another man's trade. You should have mastered your trade. That's what makes one wise. I need to go to this blacksmith over here, or I need to go to this engineer over here. God made certain people to do certain things, but in America, they teach you they know you can't learn everything and keep everything in your mind. So when I was a kid, what I learned, I knew this already. I said, I need money now, and I'm going to go to a trade school to learn a trade. Now, I did not end up going to a trade school. Once I got around friends, I realized I was a little influenced and we kind of wanted to choose things according to our friendship because we wanted to stay and be together. Not knowing when you become a man, you're not going to be around any of these Negroes no more. See? But when I look back, I said the Most High was already preparing me because I got the common sense. Why am I going to go and get into debt and may not get that same job? oh, I want to be a doctor. They're going to take 8 years of my life. Most doctors you're asking today, they don't know what they're talking about. They learned about medicine. So you have a piece of paper and you're still stupid. Let me tell you, and I don't brag. I don't care about bragging about myself, but praise the Most High, I probably healed a lot more people than doctors myself from the Most High's herbs and called common sense. General health, you'll ask a doctor, you probably going through this. They don't really know what you're going through because they can remember all of that information like a robot. They have to go on their computer and look up what medicine from the pharmacy might be good for you. No different than when you don't remember, you have to go to your notes or go to Google to see what's good for something. Let me tell you, don't let America fool you. You cannot remember everything and you should not feel bad about it. Don't be telling you, and somebody say, you know what I'm talking about? And you be like, yeah. And they be like, well, what am I talking about? And then you don't know what the hell you're talking about. We were not made to remember and know everything. I don't feel bad when I'm talking to someone that I don't know about because now I'm a student. It's time for me to be a student and learn. And I'm not going to tell him to teach me everything because that's not going to be my trade. If I just need a little information on how to fix an issue, that's all the information I need. If I feel like I want to study more, I will ask him for resources to study more on my own time. See? We have to get back to common sense. What trade are you good at? How can you benefit the city or the kingdom of Christ? What are you going to be fruitful in? I don't want to hear, man, my life was bad, so I'm just living off of government assistance. You can live off of government assistance. Okay, take $50 and start making something that's small so you can make some extra money on the side. Because you waiting on a man. You're not going to get a man. It seems like you can get your hair done. You seem like you can get your nails done. So take some of that money or learn how to do some of those things that you love to do and make some money while you're getting government assistance. It seems like women, I ain't getting no more money. But guess what? How your hair done? How you buying these new wigs? Our people can be more resilient if they try. We want the world. We lust after the world amiss when we pray. So we don't get our prayers answered because we want to use them upon our own lust. We are afraid and embarrassed to live below our means, which gives us space to do better. So every emergency, we have to ask someone for something. It's okay sometimes to do it, but when that's a pattern, there's something that we need to refix. Homesteading is a pro in this area. You can save money in eggs because you got chickens. They're some of the most easiest creatures to take care of. You take a 5-gallon bucket, all your leftovers, because you're going to buy nice, clean food. Your little lettuce that you don't eat that part of it, you throw that in the bucket. Your old rice, your old whatever. This is all good, clean food. You throw your little diatomaceous earth in that thing, a little pumpkin seeds or a little oregano, dried oregano. Now they're going to be healed from colds. A little red pepper flakes. You give that to your chickens. You got clean eggs. On top of that, you can get you a little feed from the store and give a little bit of both of those. You saving money on feed now. Now you got eggs year round. And you got organic chickens. The same stuff when you go into the store you're getting. You don't have to buy eggs anymore. Now you're saving money. You learn how to milk your animals. Cows are giving you 1 gallon plus of milk a day. On top of what they feed their own young. You have too much milk in the house? Make you some soap. Sell the milk. You know how hard it is to find raw milk? It's a hot commodity forever. And guess what? It ain't going nowhere no time soon. Okay? These are some good pros to homesteading. We're just going down the list. I'm going to show you a few videos in a second. This is because being a homesteader is one of the best educations your child can learn. When you have young men, put that behind out there and make them get in their garden and homestead. This is how they're going to learn how to use their hands and be a man and know how to work and appreciate something. If you give them everything, You're going to have some cons. The homesteading have pros if you raise your children in it. Okay? A lot of Esau, all their children do not be going to public school. They don't even eat some of the things that you guys are eating out there. They will make their own academy into a business, and they can graduate their own child through their own academy. They started their own academy, LLC, graduated their own child, take a placement test, and if they want to go to college, there you go. Why? How you think Esau been getting ahead when you got stupid presidents up there who are not very knowledgeable? Guys, Donald Trump is not, he's smart with money, but you can tell he's not smart with really everything else. We're under the misconception that you have to know everything that you learned in public school to be successful. It's just not true. Immigrants are coming over here. They do not know half as much as we know and are more successful than us. All they know how to do is punch a cash register, basic math, clocking dollars. How much does this item cost? How much does this item cost? Who's more wiser? The person who has degrees with knowledge and no money, or the person who has a basic knowledge with more money? You tell me who's more wiser. I can read you in the book of Jasher how there was a poor man who started to charge people together. He got a band of men to charge people to bury their own people. Was it a good thing? No. But he found a way to make money, and it was so wise that Pharaoh at that time thought it was a wise thing. So he was like, hey, we're going to start to infiltrate this thing in the country. Let me tell you, wisdom is faith. You got a lot of people who know the law. What is the law helping you if you're not being fruitful in life? The law, it can help you, and you can educate people with the law without judging them, putting them down, to help them better. Instead of me going to somebody saying, man, we shouldn't be eating pork, man, because God said, and now you already know everyone have been trodden down with religion. Do you really think they're going to listen to you? How about taking the law using wisdom? You know what? I found out that looking under a microscope, pork causes parasites. Don't even talk to them about Leviticus yet. Start there. And then you move on slowly down the line if they got hooked on the bait there. So we're using the law in the wrong way. We're not using the wisdom of the law. We're using the foolishness of it that kept us down. Yep, there you go, lady Zionists. That was Rawchaa in Jasher chapter 14. There you go. Okay. So, in homeschool, they learn traditional things of math, science, English, reading, and comprehension. And you can throw that garbage out that you're going to learn in school talking about planets. So you can choose what you're teaching your children. And let me tell you what you need to stay away from. Stay away from, if you homeschool your children, from people who children is in public schools and their parents have taught them to be better than people. Meaning, every child should be the best they can be, but some children, they will try to high side and think they're better than people because they have public school education, but they're still stupid. They don't have honor, they don't have respect, and they'll try to make people feel a certain way because they learned something in public school, which most of our people in public school still not successful when they went to college and all that. And so because you're homeschooling your child, you didn't teach them that garbage. They're trying to make your children seem less than because they learned some garbage and now they feel wise. Okay, come out here with these goats and let me put you in a pen with one of these goats or these animals. Let's see how wise you are. Let's get that goat down. Come and put a plant in the ground. Come and feed yourself. Show me what to do with these chickens. You have just learned information. That's all you've learned. To seem wise. The wisdom of this world is foolishness unto the Most High. You're not getting in the kingdom of heaven because you got the white man's knowledge. Huh? And when I show you the video, you'll understand why I'm telling you that. I shouldn't have to show you a video. I should be able to show you the scriptures. Some Israelites is like this. My daughter's this. Oh, my son is this. He's doing this. Who cares? He's not getting into the kingdom because he has a talent. Your child will be no different than the rich man who came, the spoiled brat rich man who came to Christ talking about, I've been following the law from my youth. Yeah, you cornball. Christ knew when that rich man was coming to him, if he would have humbled himself and followed Christ, he would have got sevenfold more later. But he was too into his success and his money, thinking he's better than people. So when Christ said, let me get some of that money and help the poor in the ministry, I bet you he wasn't really down then, because you think you're better than people because you got some degrees and some paperwork and some money. Come and put your hands in the dirt and see what life is about first. See? So Christ was like, let me see if you have some faith. The children of the world is wiser than the children of the kingdom. We want to seem smart on the outside. We want to dress good on the outside with chains. There's nothing wrong with having these chains and this jewelry. But if you think you're better than people because of these things, let me tell you, in Revelations it says you think you're doing good. You really don't know that you're poor. You're empty. If I ever see somebody trying to downplay somebody or condescend to somebody negatively, and you're going to hear my mouth, I can guarantee you that. Listen, I can't stand bullies. You're going to hear my mouth. I'm going to tell you right now. And I bars none. I will fight for righteousness. Okay? So whatever they learn, instead of them wasting time showing it off, go and do works and be fruitful with it for the Most High. It's no different than a Negro coming with the doctrine of the Most High and just trying to show off just because he learned a few scriptures. Who cares? Who are you waking up? What lives are you saving? Who have you married? How is the church being fruitful? Come on now. So that's the part that we have to be careful about as a nation of people. Showing off. The Most High is going to resist the proud man. You might think you're getting away because you're proud and you have talent and you think you're better than people because you have a God-given talent. Yeah, God gave you that talent. You didn't give you that talent. But you're no different than Lucifer. You think you're special because you have a talent and you think you're better than people. You are no different than Lucifer, who had a talent and who failed. God will forever resist the proud and only give grace to the humble. It's just a matter of time before you fall. He that exalted himself, the Bible says, shall be abased, in the book of Ecclesiasticus. You better get your mind right. That's why I don't try to make a lot of friends. I'm not in this for friends. I don't like the cockiness thing. See? I'm here to be a messenger, help, heal, and that's why it says the scriptures. This is going to be the things that follow those who believe. I'm healing. This is the things that I'm doing. I'm being a messenger. I'm a servant. That's how you know if the Holy Spirit is in you. If you going around telling, oh, you can't do what I do because of this. Yeah, you're the devil. This is the best gift you can give a child. Additionally, it would teach them to be appreciative of the things that they have when they have to take their own hands to cultivate them. Meaning their own hands to grow their food, in their own hands to maintain their animals for food. This is important things, guys. Before I get this video, these are some important things here. So there's a lot of pros and cons. So if you have any questions, you can call in and ask. I'm just going to play a few videos for you really quick, okay? Let me get this for you. Fair use for educational and religious purposes only. Okay? We're just playing what this Jewish man said himself. We have nothing. We're just playing what he said himself. Okay, this is his own views. Okay. $40 Glock. I used to $40 Glock. I used to know $40 Glock. Oh my goodness. Don't get me started. Lord have mercy. Fair use.
Do it, and they're brain dead. Well, we did a good job with the public school system. We got you to put all of your children in there. You notice that the Jew doesn't put his children in there. They go to the Hebrew Academy where we teach them the real things, and then they go to the synagogue and they learn the real important things. But we send your kids to the school.
It's not this copycatting Israelites. Once we fell, they just started to copycat what we did, no different than the Samaritans. He says they teach them no different than us. We're teaching them real life in the church. He said they teach them in their Hebrew Academy. Our Hebrew Academy is not new. This was before Jewish people came into the land of Israel. Just so you know, it's just a name, but right? Our people were being taught homesteading. We had our kingdom together. But he's telling you as a Jewish man that he's like, listen, y'all basically put your children in our prisons, and we all went through their schooling, and we learn now that we didn't learn anything. We learned how to be in sororities. We learned how to be, in the rainbow gang, LGBT. We learned sin. We learned this rap music, drugs, fornication. We learned all the things that if we sin, they win. While they take their children to learn how to rule the world. Order you some books. Order you some books. And I'm not making this up. Someone gave me a book not too long ago. A little book. Probably not supposed to have that book, but I'm just saying. He's not making it up. Okay? Order you some books. Learn a few things. I mean, just your children can, like in the old days, get educated in whatever they want in their library. And if they have a trade and they need a license or something, a lot of things can actually be done online. They may make you come in a few times. It can be done online. You get your certificate, and it's up to you to master what you do if you're truly going to help people in whatever you're trying to do. Some people want to be a veterinarian. You can go to veterinarian school. There's some things you can learn online and some things you're going to have to go for a few courses hands-on. There's so many different things you can do. Get you some books. Okay? Finkelstein, yeah, right? There you go.
Have you tax yourself from your property so that you never own your property. And so if you don't make your property tax, we're going to take your property. You can bet on that. And we have you put your kid in a 12-year babysitting is about all it does.
He said he has you put your children in 12-year-old babysitting, showing you didn't need to go to the 12-year-old babysitting to run and rule the world because they didn't. Who's more wiser? The person who's, I got my degree. I'm better than everybody. You can't tell me nothing. I don't need a husband because I got me 2 master's seat. You ain't finna tell me. I done did this already. Really? You ain't running nothing. You're the lowest paid when it comes to women on this earth. And these Jewish people are not as smart as you think they are when you talk to most of them. They had a lot of hand-me-down things. Business, land, all that. Passed down things that we're supposed to be doing from our children. What are we going to leave our children? A house note? We're going to leave our children debt? Or can you at least leave them something that they can continue to reproduce? And if they don't know how to reproduce it, maybe they have some money where they can hire servants to do it. Okay?
Learn anything, and then by that time, the kids, they get to be teenagers, and then we give them the music. Not that we really.
We give them the music. You don't remember that? The same man who said you eat these McDonald's sandwiches, we give them the music. That's why I be telling a lot of young men, it's okay for you to do music for the Most High. That's a blessing. But understand, don't bring this mindset of what the Jewish people did in music into the truth. No buffoonery, no clownery, no you think you're better than everybody, and you know what I mean? Like in this trash, in the style, like be more creative. A lot of the things that you're doing, a lot of the things they created, where you can't hear what you're saying and stuff like that with this trap music. That is called speaking in tongues. If you cannot edify the people and we can't hear what you're saying, you're speaking in tongues. Okay? Let's be fruitful here.
Want to call it music because, oy vey, that's not music. But they listen to that, and then they want to do what they want to do, and so we sell them drugs, and we make a lot of money off your children. Your children from cradle to grave, all we do is make money off of them.
Like somebody said, mumble rap. Mumble rap is speaking in tongues. Confusion, which the Most High is not the author of. And we walk around thinking we hard, like we own something. No. Somebody told you to do this. Hey, if my music ain't official, if it don't represent me and the Most High, I ain't making it. And just because, and another thing, just because you start rapping, that don't mean you can rap. Just because you in the truth, that does not mean that that's your talent. I'm sorry to tell you. Somebody needs to tell you the truth. Just because you said the Most High name, does that make you a good rapper? That's no different than when we were in the street life. You had some people who actually did the street life, and then when they became rappers, they were whack. But at least they lived a true story about what these people were rapping about. And then you have the brothers who rapped about things that they never did, but they were actually talented. It's very rare you found both. So even in the truth, we had to be official with this. So if I can't believe that you will bust a grape in real life, please only rap about the Most High if you're talking about being tough. Because I used to be with some people, they would talk very tough. And when we get around these Egyptians, it's like putting a tail between your legs. And I'm like, this is the same person on this song, this warrior type voice on this song. I mean, I don't need to speak of myself. People can already verify about me, but I just be shocked. I'm like, man, I gotta stop listening to just because a person said, praise the Most High, I'm about to kill the demons and do this and do that. And then when you get to some Arabs or somebody who can't throw down, it's like, man, you running? I don't want to hear that talk tough stuff no more. Please, just rap about the Most High, do some poetry. And we shouldn't be really out here fighting anyway, but I'm saying that sometimes you got to defend and protect yourself in an emergency. A true fighter or a true warrior, he's not a fighter fighting little stupid battles. He protects himself in an emergency. He's just a man of the Most High. That's it. But these are the guys who's talking tough because they've been listening to what this Finkelstein guy says. They've learned that and brought that into the truth. And everybody's talking about how many birds and stuff they used to move. And no one can verify because we're all in the truth now. I'm going to tell you right now. I need you to be in the truth for a while under some elders so I can verify that you can do that first. And then I'll know if that's who I'm listening to in your lyrics. Just because you was in the streets, he was in the streets, that don't mean y'all should be hanging together and getting together to do music. That don't mean nothing. We have to start proving people and checking people and transition this thing how it's supposed to go. All this clown and buffoonery, nah. It needs to come back where young men have to earn things. We got to get all of this back in order. But that's a side note anyway. This man is telling you all of these things. Why you think it's so important that you take back control of your life and homestead? Why do you think that's so important? See? It's very important because these people diabolically planned this, and the Most High gave us over into their hands for not listening. So now that we are awakening and we see what they're doing to us, we see what's going on in the world, how much more the better for the times that we're in now, that we start to get together, because one day we're going to have all things common, like the scripture said in Acts. This is important. Okay?
Oh, you're Goyim, the human cattle, Muslim.
He said that our people are Goyim. The rest of the world is Goyim. I'll play it one more time. Fair use for educational purposes only.
Well, we did a good job with the public school system. We got you to put all of your children in there. You notice that the Jew doesn't put his children in there. They go to the Hebrew Academy where we teach them the real things, and then they go to the synagogue and they learn the real important things. But we send your kids to the public school. We even have you tax yourself from your property so that you never own your property.
Now, there's certain things you just can't get around unless you have a homestead exemption, unless you have an agriculture tax exemption. Some places allow that. Like if you have, like I said, 5 or more acres, you can put bees. You can put a lot of trees like pecan trees or this type of tree, and they will give you a certain percentage off your taxes. Like if you have bees, they'll take 80% off of your taxes a year. So there's ways around the taxes. Or you just learn about real estate. Order books. I mean, I just order books. You got the Iodine Crisis, Real Estate Entrepreneur. You just got to learn things. Amish Way. These are just a few books in the library. You got to just learn, educate yourself. They say what they know about the Hebrew and Bible Academy. Well, they learned from us before they got in the land.
And so if you don't make your property tax, we're going to take your property. You can bet on that. And we have you put your kid in a...
So you don't make your property tax. That's how the Jewish people monopoly. That's where the game Monopoly comes from. All you do, you go down to the county, people you go down to the county sheriff's office, those people who didn't pay their taxes, guess what happens? Whatever money you have, that house belongs to you now. You can do the same thing that they do. So now you're a real estate investor. Instead of watching all of these classes, save you some money. Oh, you got $8,000 in income tax? You go down to the county sheriff's office, register, and guess what happens? You might get a house that's $100,000 for $8,000 because that's what the taxes they owe. You wait a period of time to see if they're going to pay it. And if they do pay it, they have to pay you back what you paid for it and money on top of that of what they owed. It's Arabs and all that down there all the time. Okay? It's time for you to learn how to play Monopoly in real life. Time for you to learn how to buy these neighborhoods up before this thing is over. Take that income tax and don't just buy some rims. Don't go take a trip. Go to the sheriff's office, get the list from the county, look up the house. Go to the house to see if it's something you want to buy and invest in and improve to make your money off of it. And hey, get you what you can afford. You might have the Browns on the Monopoly, but there you go. And you get up on these YouTube channels, they just showing you all of these ads. Yeah, you want to learn how to be the real estate and then you paying them. When you could take that same $3,000 class you paying them and just go down there yourself. Come on, man. It's time for Israel to wake up before this thing is too late. I didn't have to give you that information. Now you're going to have to do research to realize how to really do it, but go and do it. You got it.
12-year babysitting is about all it does because you don't learn anything. And then by that time, the kids, they get to be teenagers, and then we give them the music. Not that we really want to call it music because, oy vey, that's not music. But they listen to that, and then they want to...
Future, hey, Lil Wayne, Snoop Dogg, all of these people are getting paid to deal with their agenda. They're fronting these guys. And this is how these guys are paying their bills, by deceiving the masses, fooling the mass, putting fingernail paint on them and all that. Huh? Yes, indeed. So is there not benefits to homesteading, my people? Huh? Fair use, educational purposes only. This is how you gonna be. Now she's saying, what is it gonna take? You shouldn't have took your kids to Burger King talking about what it's gonna take. What is it gonna take for you to stop eating at Burger King, McDonald's? Why you think they're giving away free burgers at Whataburger, Wendy's, all? Let me tell you. There you go.
To listen. I'm like sick to my stomach, okay? I've heard the rumors and I'm guilty of it, taking my kids to go eat at McDonald's, but today took my girls to go get their normal Happy Meals and got a 10-piece for my 6-year-old, and she bit down one of her chicken nuggets and she says that, you know, she hurt her teeth. And so I'm looking at it and I pull this out. She pulls this out. She hands it to me, okay? And I'm freaking out. Baby, where's your tooth? What happened? How'd you lose a tooth? How did you lose a tooth in your chicken nuggets? It's not her tooth, y'all. This is not my baby's tooth. But this is a baby's tooth. This was someone's baby's tooth. This is disgusting, and this is what we're eating. This is what we're feeding our kids. This is a human tooth. This is a baby tooth, and I say baby, no more than 6 years old. This is a tooth. Y'all, this is a baby tooth, and we're eating this shit.
Excuse the language.
And you motherfuckers are still gonna go continue to eat from there.
Like you was.
Look at this. What is it gonna take?
Now that it happened to her, y'all gotta stop eating because listen, her man probably told her stop eating from there, or maybe he was eating with her. Hey, you tell some people, they don't care. They don't care, guys. I'm telling you right now. All right, let me show you a few videos. All right, just a few little homesteading videos here. Okay. You guys can do anything you put your mind to. Solar. Now, do I have solar yet? Well, no, because I don't know if I'm still going to be in this property or the next property. So I don't know. It's certain investments I don't know if I want to make just yet. So just to know. So, but this is a great investment. I've been looking on it for a few years, and I am eventually going to go solar. All right. Fair use, educational purposes only. Her total cost.
And this is how much we spent on our complete solar setup. It's not an extravagant system, it's very much a practical system. All of the wood, concrete, and the panel brackets cost us $442. We have 24 180 watt panels from Bouge RV. Total cost of all of our panels is $3,313. One cost that we didn't have to spend was wiring. We have an electrician friend who actually gave us more than we needed for wiring. The next thing would be our battery box. The total cost for the wood, stain, insulation, and roof was $120. We have 16 lithium batteries, so the total cost of our batteries and all of their cables was $3,532. Plus we have a battery monitor, which was $70. And then our inverter was $781. Our grand total to $8,258, which was less than the power company quoted us just to run wiring, not including a monthly power bill. We live in an off-grid home made of shipping containers.
So they are totally off-grid, these people. They live in a shipping container that they made themselves. And hey, they're doing it.
The world is wide. I want to make some memories. Be short.
Right?
The world is wide.
Fair use, educational purposes only for YouTube. That music, I know, whatever music they had in there. But listen, you guys, you can more than do it. Okay. So I'm gonna be taking some call-ins for some questions here. Let me go ahead and put it up really quick. Let me make sure Skype is not acting up, so when the callers are coming in, I don't know why it just does that. It just freezes up when I'm on my show. But this is the call-in number here. Okay. The call-in number. All right. 2819-736872. If you have any questions about homesteading, or you have a comment or something inspiring, or something you want to say, and it has to be in 2 minutes, within 2 minutes, please, so other callers can come in, or questions that you want to ask according to the lesson, please call in 2819-736872. Okay, while you're doing that, I am just going to go ahead and show a few more things on this homesteading here. You can teach the children to get out there, like we spoke about earlier, fair use, educational purposes only, so that they can be educated, not just in a schooling manner, that they're being prepped to be servants, but where they are, where they are actually just learning how to actually live life off grid. This is important. Okay. So, short little film here. I'm going to play not all of it, but some of it here.
Hey guys, welcome to Farm Alarm. My name's Tracy. Today I'm going to be bringing you a video called Why You Should Teach Your Kids Farm Chores. This is our first time that we've ever done a video like this. It's actually...
Again, before I start, the call-in number is 2819-736872. All right?
/documentary. And my wife said, well, if we're going to make this video, let's invite a bunch of other people to do it. So we're doing a YouTube collaboration, and 8 other YouTubers, great channels, they all said yes to doing it. And we really encourage you to check out their videos. We'll actually put the links to their channels in the description below. So without further ado, here's our short film documentary on why you should teach your kids farm chores.
Look at Esau. Esau is using the scriptures that from our book. So, I mean, we like, hey, I'm going to give me some hot Cheetos today. You know what I mean? Like, Esau is like, he making hot Cheetos in his oven right now. That fire, the coals in that fire, they look like hot Cheetos right there. Right? And what do I mean by that? Teaching the children all of the skills that they need to survive. This is not just something we're talking about. Those of you who are not prepared and who don't get on it, you're going to wish that you paid attention to life, reality of what's going on. You're going to wish that. Because the cities, the Bible talks about the cities will be overran eventually. The cities will be controlled digitally and otherwise. It will just be a place to go into work, and hopefully you can come back to a homestead type of environment. Hopefully. If you're just coming in, make sure you hit that like button.
Teach your children farm chores. Yeah, I think it's a good thing to do.
I think teaching your kids farm chores is a key foundation.
I can't think of anything else I'd rather be than a farmer.
Yeah, You want to sell some green out there? You want to sell some green? You want to sell some brown? Don't do it. Don't sell drugs. Get out here and sell that grass. You don't sell no weed. Get you some land and sell the grass. Call you some hay balers. Get them to come out there and bale your hay, and you guys have to decide what's going to be a percentage of your split and sell that hay. Now you got some brown and some green to sell. Something that's going to help people to continue to reproduce. Feeding their animals, mulching their gardens, whatever the case may be. They taught us to sell green of weed, of something that's going to keep you lazy and slothful with demons coming in your body while they're out there working.
Definitely excited that we have an opportunity to raise our kids out in the country versus in town. Being out in the country, it really teaches you a sense of responsibility, and it connects you with nature.
I prefer living in the country on a farm instead of living.
1 second. Can I get some more? Can I get some more water? (208) area code. Who do we have calling in? Gerardo, how are you doing, my brother? I'm doing all right, my brother. What about yourself? Yes, you have so you it's just like a mortgage. You can finance it. You're going to need very similar loans. You have homes that are already on land. It would be nice, obviously, if you just called around and asked a few questions, and they will educate you on it. But I'll educate you on the basis of it. We have some real estate agents who is also in the church sometimes, but obviously it's better when they're in your area. But so, because people are very helpful when it comes to this stuff because they're trying to sell something. You have houses, mobile homes that you can buy on land. You know, tiny houses you can move on land. Mobile homes you can move on blank land, but you're going to have to get the water and the electricity. It all can be padded in a loan, or you can save money to try to buy you something that's affordable a little further out and just buy it all out. But it can be financed. It can be also, they have some things that's owner finance, but owner finance just has a higher interest rate. If you do owner finance, you need to have a plan to either pay it off quicker, so you won't be paying almost double in the years to come, or have a plan to eventually sell it before it's time to go. So hopefully that helped you. Now listen, when you do that, people assume that you have to live. Let me make sure that people can hear you here, because I don't know. Let me see 1 second. If this Skype is starting to freeze up on me when I have call-ins or whatever, but okay, they said they couldn't hear you, but you should. Hopefully, they should be able to hear you now. So he was. Thank you, guys. I don't know what's going on these days. I'm gonna have to use another way for callers to call in. Maybe Zoom. Let me 1 second. Let me see. Can they hear you? Can you guys hear him now? Say something, Gerardo.
Testing.
Can you hear him now, guys? Well, I'll wait because I think there's a lag. I'll wait to see if they actually can hear you in a second. Anyway, so yes, you can finance. Yes, you can actually. Okay, they say yes sir now. I don't know what's up with this thing. Yes, you can actually finance land, but I would always, whatever you can afford, try to find land along that same line. You know what I mean? You kind of, or go a little bit over, but you always want to leave some room, because with land, you're going to have to purchase certain things. And you know what I mean? Sometimes you might need a little tractor off Facebook Marketplace or offer up to do work. So you have to see, how much land do I need? Don't buy land just because you're excited. Sometimes your first land is not your last land. You might say, I want to start with a smaller homestead. Or, you know what? How about we just get this type of house, or an older house, or a mobile home? You have to find what's best for you. Or we do like this nice house because we can afford it. Everyone's homestead finance is just going to be different, but you don't want to change it so much to where you're becoming depressed or stressed. You have to really sit down, plan it out to where you're going to be happy. Go out to see it. Ask a lot of questions. If there are contractors, be out there if you can when they're working on your house, if you have improvements. All of these things are important. Does the land have a fence? Because if not, do I want to finance a fence? Sometimes people going to pay $20,000 for a fence. Is that something I want to pay? Do I want to pay some private contractors to put a regular fence up? Do I want a pond? Is there a pond already? You just need to think what you want. It don't have to be difficult. It does not have to be difficult. You just need to find, what do I want? What type of animals do we plan on having? So start studying them, doing research, and just keep it very simple. But make sure you're living where you can really afford it. That's the main part about it. Okay? Because believe it or not, me coming to a homestead from the city, I save way more money. Now, I spent a lot of money through lack of knowledge on homesteading. So now what I went through, I can tell people what not to do. I spent a lot of money on lack of knowledge, but I still save way more money than when I was living in the city. And when I'm coming in with things, I'm sitting in my garage, I got neighbors watching all that. I got daughters coming in. I couldn't have that. When it goes down, they're going to come to my house. This dude always storing food. He got daughters coming in and out. I'm like, no, I need to be able to see you coming from afar so I can hit you with a dot. You know what I mean? On the spot. Hopefully that answers your question, my brother.
It does, Elder. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Bless you. Shalom.
Bless you as well.
574 area code.
Shalom, Elder. How are you doing?
Shalom.
Shalom to you and the rest of the elders.
Bless you,
the
my
rest
brother.
of the elders of Gathering Christ Church.
Bless you.
Bless you. This is Shamu Allah with the I Am's Farm. I'm a brother from the Chicago body.
All praises.
Absolutely. It's all his praise. And everything that you brought out is just the truth. It's hard work. I'm actually sitting at my second job, my part-time job, and I still have to go home yet, do my chores, get some more sleep, and go to work again. And, you know, without the elders of this church, without this work, without the Most High calling back Jacob and Christ dying on that cross for our sins and then resurrection, I would be out there lost without a paddle, you know. But this ministry has given me vision. It's given me purpose. And, you know, one thing about the teachings is I found my purpose through opening up the word, through having good leadership, good teachers to teach me. And I found myself in the scriptures, and here I am now, and I'm on land. It's not, like I said, easy by any means, and it's hard. You know, you lose animals, but one thing I like to say is you don't know what you don't know, but you can learn. You can learn through what you don't know by going through it, or you can learn ahead of time by the research.
Let me ask you a question. How have you lost any animal before? For example, just so the people can know, because I've lost mine through most of my animals. I've lost one. One got choked through a cattle panel. She got her horn. She was trying to get grass, so she weaved her head through to where I cut her out with an electric saw one day with a metal saw, and then she still got. I just had one goat that kept doing that. All of my goats or my livestock wouldn't do that. Another time, she tried it again down the line. That was months later. I thought she learned. She hung herself on it because her body weight ended up falling. And I've lost a few. I lost most of my livestock. I lost through parasites, but that was through me trying to. I'm not going to say I was trying to be over righteous, but I wanted to say, man, I want to put them on a pasture instead of them just eating hay. But that was not the best idea because we don't live in the same type of situation as the ancient times. So I had to learn which parasites were resistant to certain parasite cleansers or whatever. And I found a great one called Sidectin for the barber pole. The barber pole is a deadly worm, takes the iron from these, you know, these livestock, and it will totally just decimate, especially the smaller goats and sheep. And I found Sidectin. and another one or two because they've become resistant to safeguard for the barber pole. And there's some natural things I found like chicory root that you can plant in the grass, and that gets, rid of barber pole and a few other things. But how did you ever lose one, if you don't mind me asking?
So I've lost the same getting caught up in feeders or fences. I lost about 15 sheep. I lost about 15 sheep last year due to my negligence of not knowing about parasites and trying to do grass fed, and I just didn't know. And,
wow. Let me stop you. That is amazing to hear that you would say that, because some people will be embarrassed. But I can tell you, a warrior and a soldier, because like the Bible says, you put your life on the line for the brethren. And that means that's not stopping you. And that next time you do it, you're going to learn, because I can tell from you just saying that and being honest. A lot of people think we get on here, we get excited, and it's like you think that it's because they're on grass is going to take care of itself. And then you got a whole new world to learn about. That's how I'm able to heal so many people as well on another level these years, because I'm learning even more from the gardening now about the animals and the parasites. And it's just crazy that you said that, because it's like, wow, you wanted them to be grass fed, but you have to know how to do it. Sometimes you have to have more than, now you see why Esau has so much land. They'll buy 40, 50 acres because these guys have to move. So if they're not moving, you have to have a certain type of solution and be deworming these guys once to every 3 months, 6 months, whatever people choose, depending on their area. Wow. But I'm going to let you finish, man. That's just inspiring to hear. I'm sorry that you lost those, but you're going to gain way more, my brother.
And that's what the Most High is doing. We lambed 12 sheep this year. So far, we still have a few more lambs to lamb. And I lost two males out of those 12. And you have to be a shepherd. You have to watch your flock. You have to check up on them. You have to make sure that they're okay. And I went out there for the second one, and they have selenium and vitamin E supplements that you can give sheep. And I did some research, and they like you said, you can't just listen to anybody on YouTube because it doesn't work in every situation.
Right.
And I started just giving all the newborn lambs just a little bit of selenium and vitamin E, and we think that is what did this lamb, because he died in my arms last week, Elder.
I'm sorry to hear that.
We've had this my wife literally, to speak to the children, my wife literally had a video of her having to help this lamb out of, her name is Oreo, and my wife helped this lamb out last spring, and my son's sitting there, he wasn't even 2 at the time yet, and he's sitting there watching his mom pull a lamb out of a sheep, and then the other one was taking the video, and he's 5. And that's one thing, Elder, I found my purpose in the Testament of Benjamin. It says, I shall no longer be called a ravenous wolf on account of your ravages, but a worker of the Lord, distributing food to those who work good. And that's the mission I'm set out on to accomplish for my fathers, for my sons, for righteousness' sake, for the King, for the Most High. And it's not easy. It's not easy. I keep saying that, but it gets easier. And that's what I want to tell our brothers and sisters is don't be afraid. Bishop Amoff sent out a powerful lesson last Sabbath.
All praises.
Don't be afraid to get dirty. Don't be afraid to try something new. Don't be afraid because this is what we used to do. The Most High, He's going to send that increase.
Shepherd Kings.
And He's going to send the increase where we lack, if we're doing what we're supposed to do. And, learning, it's a learning process. It's not easy, but it's learning, it's growth. And, one thing I've learned is that you do have to rely on the community. And I got a friend who he used to be Amish or whatever, but he's taught me how to slaughter cattle like a month ago. And he's sold me sheep. I went over, helped him trim their hoofs, I'm learning.
That's
so
good.
if you can ever get out there and just learn from somebody, do it. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to go to a farmer and say, hey, look, I don't know anything. Can you teach me?
There you go.
That's the humility. And through that, that's also being the light, and it's a part of the works. We have to be personable in this truth. We have to be able to condescend to the lowest level, even in just being friendly. I work at a feed store called Rural King. I don't know if I should put that out here, but there's so-called Christians that come in here, and I learn from them. I speak with them. I have Christ-like conversations with them. I know that the doctrine's not the same, but that's being a light. Maybe they'll look back down the road. But nonetheless, I'm learning, Elder, and I'm not going to stop. I found out that 3.5 acres isn't enough for the operation I want to run, so I'm going to remodel this house. If it be the Most High's will, I'm going to do these things to be able to do more.
There you go.
It's a gift. It's truly a gift. Not to be taken for granted, this truth, this wisdom, the teachers, the leadership, and the body of Christ. We can do this. We just have to trust in him and have faith.
Listen, and hopefully one day, man, we can have seminars of homesteading where homesteaders are getting there and we are becoming the shepherd kings. It's easy to say that, but now so glad you called on tonight, because I need to hear other people who went through what I went through and who are going through this, because it shows how great we were and how far we have fallen, because we had all the knowledge. To be a shepherd king, that means you had to have mastered this task of what we're talking about today. And we had so much land. Land in the past, it was not really gated in every sense. You will be able to be a shepherd walking with your flock, feeding them in different areas. But now, because we're in captivity, it's very hard for most people to afford 40, 50, 100 acres where these guys can just, they have one pen. You let them go to the next pen, and you know what I mean? That's rough. So now the cattle seem to be a little bit more, they have a little bit more girth when it comes to this. You will lose some, but not as much as the smaller ones. I will give my cattle the basic parasite stuff like ivermectin or Safeguard, and they'll come back in 2 days. But they just seem to be built stronger. But for those of you who want smaller homesteads, smaller livestock, it's a lot better, because you don't need as much space in a sense. But you like he said, how you can prevent these things, you're going to have to be a good shepherd. You're going to have to pay attention to them, keep their stalls clean as much as possible, or just find your way. And you will, like he said, if you don't give up, you will find your way. But I pray one day we can sit down as, the body and have a homestead seminar. This is important, where people have learned certain things, what type of parasite cleansers are better than others, because like I said, Safeguard works with my cattle, but it does not work with my sheep and goats. I gave it to them, and the barber pole worm was so strong, they still died. They'll get this little big lump, like a thyroid thing that women get under their mouth. The worm will start eating their blood, and every time I've given them Cydectin in 48 hours, which it usually takes for most parasite cleansers, then that worm is gone. And this is the second time it worked for this one brown sheep I had. And I said, okay, some of these YouTubers are good and some of them are not. You're just going to you're going to lose some to gain some. So all praises be to the Most High. Man, this was a great call. I think a lot of people were inspired by this call. And
Elder,
I've been watching. Go ahead.
Can I say, too, all the ground is different, the animals are different, the atmosphere is different. So what may work for your homestead may not work for my homestead. Yep. And these things, these things, you're going to learn how to maneuver the way your sheep need to be cared for. Like it's like if you go to different bodies, each shepherds differently.
There you go.
Nonetheless, we're all being shepherded. And that's the key. It's humility. At the end of the day, it's gonna prevail. One thing I'm noticing too is like with multiple different species of animals, you might fare better. So I might add a cow to my to my farm. But, you know, I won't know until that I cross that, whether or not that works, where some animals eat some parasites and are resistant where the sheep isn't. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like you can cross pasteurized graze or something.
Yeah, no,
but I'm learning.
You can do that, and another thing, some people will let their chickens live with the goats, because what happens is, now you got to learn how to keep that together, as far as, because the chickens, they drop in different poop. But what I like about the chickens coming in, sometimes they will eat the worms, because the worms will hatch in 6 days, and they will come in there, because I like to keep wood chips around mine, because they're just better for me for the hay in my area. And it seems to keep the smell down and break the stuff down better than the hay. Obviously, there's going to be some hay, but the chickens will come in there and eat all of those worms, kind of like the birds that will just come on my land in the morning when it's wet, and they'll try to get the worms, so they'll come and eat some of these parasites. So sometime having some chickens next door to the goats, and having those chickens specifically there just to come in there and keep some of the parasite load down. Another thing I will put that I do is I put chlorine dioxide, or MMS, in water, and I'll go and spray the area often, or put diatomaceous earth down, just to try to keep the worm load down. But right now I call some other people, they're saying, well, we deworm them once a month. And I'm like, once a month? I'm like, wow. So you kind of, some people don't deworm at all, and they'll try to just keep the strongest of the flock, and they'll just keep breeding with those. So like you said, brother, we all have to learn, you know, the best we can. It's no different than a fruit tree. In Texas, you'll have a certain breed of fruit trees that they have on a certain rootstock, and they won't get disease in Texas. But try that rootstock in Georgia or Florida or New York. It won't work. So we just kind of have to just find the best solutions and kind of take notes from each other, and hopefully we'll learn to be what we were born to be, shepherd kings. I got to take this next call, but I thank you so much for calling in, my brother.
Yes, sir. Bless you. Double honors.
My man, Shalom. Great call. 760.
Shalom.
Shalom. Who we got calling in tonight?
This is Sister Shay.
Sister who?
Sister Shay.
Okay, Sister Shay, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm all right. Just getting me a little water, hydrating myself.
Yes, sir. Thank you also, too, for responding about the whey protein being restocked on the website. I saw it.
Yes, ma'am. No problem. All praises.
Thank you. I just wanted to speak on me and my husband. We are probably 2 years newly married, and we don't live in a house and stuff like that yet. But first coming into the truth, I was like, wanting to obtain land and all these different things. And I think watching some of the video lessons that you had kind of showed me that like it does take a lot of work, and that you can start small. My sister Tabitha from Humble Homestead from the Atlanta body.
Yeah. Great sister.
One person who keeps their foot on my neck is her. But I'm very grateful because she taught me basically kind of a little bit about how her and her husband started, and how they started in an apartment too. So we obviously don't have room for goats and cows and chickens and all that kind of stuff, but you can start small and take the time to build rapport in communities. So I do reach out to a lot of my local farms. I do have about 3 to 4 people who sell eggs on hand. So when one person's out, I can rotate them out and go to the next person.
All praises.
Milk. Cheeses. I have, local people who have honey that deliver to our door. Just different things that we can find. I have started did a bunch of research and started an apartment garden. So we do have things like our greens and peppers and all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to get ready to set that up. Another thing too I found out is that sometimes, yes, there is research and things that you can do, but I think sometimes for me personally, we complicate things a little bit too much, and thinking that you have to buy all these different gadgets and stuff. And everybody has their own thing, but I didn't want plants inside because sometimes it accumulates bugs, and I don't really like that. So I found a lot of videos that you can actually start seed planting outside. You just need to put it in some kind of container, obviously, because it's a baby plant and it can't just be out. Instead of so if you don't have the funds or whatever to get grow lights and all these different kinds of things, there's different videos to watch.
Yeah.
And we've gotten into baking bread and everything homesteader apartment edition, basically.
There you go.
So you can start there.
No, that's great because before I had land, like I told people my story, when I was overseas traveling, I did not have land. I was in a bedroom with my brother temporarily, and I was starting sprouts on the windowsill, and then I started patio gardening on top of what they already had, and it became so great. I had to go to the rooftop. I had plants all on the roof. It wasn't my roof, but I wouldn't let nothing stop me because overseas they kind of more cool over there. I mean, I had plants on the whole apartment building roof. And I said, man, my sister-in-law, she had an uncle who sold things to the grocery stores. He would give us a bunch of bananas and avocados for free all the time from his farm. And I said, I asked her, I said, can you ask your uncle, can I have a little small plot on his land? He can take from what I grow. And I got to the point where I said, there's no kale in the grocery store. I want to grow kale to where it's in the grocery store. I found out it was a commodity there and it costs a lot of money. You can make a lot of money from having it there. And so people were asking me, where are you growing your kale? Where are you growing your kale? I had a field full of kale. No one had it in their restaurant because my brother ended up opening a restaurant called Southern Kingdom there, hot wing restaurant. We had kale in our salads and no one else really had it except for the other side of town. So like you said, you start somewhere, you increase from there, and the Most High will constantly bless you. But he wants to see what you're going to do with your hands. You can't ask for something amiss or something to waste on your lust if you're not serious about it, or you won't get the blessing from the Most High. If you just want to homestead because it's cute, this is not for you. This is survival. This is pride for some of us to be shepherd kings because this is what our forefathers was. And this is the way that the world is going to, because there's a movie called Homesteading. And Bill Gates is talking about he wants us to eat everything from lab food now. So what are we going to do about it is the question. If you have an apartment, I had an apartment. I was eating most of my vegetables from, my patio. So you can do it, just like you said. And don't make people everything difficult. YouTube, you have to separate the two. Some people are just adding things on YouTube for views, but you really don't need to do all of that. And sometimes we have to stop watching YouTube and make some MeTube and get to action. So thank you for calling in tonight, my sister.
Also, Elder, I have one more comment.
Yeah.
I'm not for sure if Elder Rawchaa is aware, but the last video that he did on Rumble, it didn't have any sound to it. And when I went to Shabbat this past week, some other brothers and sisters were saying that it's been I guess the past couple of lessons, it had a faulty connection or something like that. So I was just making sure if you guys knew or not.
I'm going to contact him and see if he knows about that and see what we can do. We've been broadcasting and there's been some weird things happening out of nowhere. Out of nowhere, sometimes people can't hear my callers and all type of things, but I'll get with them. Let me get to this next call. Thank you for calling in, sis.
Okay, thank you.
All right, now, Shalom. Shalom, we have 563 area code.
Shalom, Elder. How are you?
How you doing? Who we got calling in tonight?
This is Sister Taffy.
Sister who now?
Taffy.
Okay, how you doing, Sister Taffy?
I'm fine, thanks for asking.
Okay. What you have for us tonight?
I was listening to the sister saying about them being in an apartment, and I just wanted to bring to everyone's attention quail.
Okay.
Quail you can have, because I know you guys were talking about the garden.
Yeah.
You can start your gardening inside the home and have a little space inside your home. But you can also have a meat and egg source through quail
You're
in
right.
your home. You can have I've seen people have them in dog crates or a rabbit hutch.
I appreciate
and you can have your own meat and egg source. If you've never had quail before, you can go into your little local store or farmer's market and buy some quail eggs and try them out. just to let people know, 3 quail eggs equals 1 chicken egg. So you can, divide up your quail eggs like that, because for us, we're a house of 6. We have to use, I use 18 quail eggs in the mornings for breakfast.
Okay.
So that equals out to like the 6 eggs. So I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention, because we have our chickens, and people that have a backyard can have the chickens and the quail in the back. But if you're in an apartment, you can also have your quail in the basement or in a little space somewhere, a separate room, or in the back or so you can have you a meat source also, meat and egg source as well.
That is very powerful. Yes, my brother-in-law is my neighbor, and he raises quail. And I'm glad you said that, because I didn't even think about that. That's a great solution for people who's in apartments. And they reproduce fast. So
yes, they do.
they reproduce fast. That was a perfect. This is why we having this show, because sometimes I can't remember everything, and that was a perfect solution. Very small little unit you can have to raise these quail, and like you said, it's a little bit more nutritious than chickens as far as their eggs, and you can actually, if you sell them, you can make a lot of money if you have a nice network going with it, because they're more expensive than chicken eggs.
Mhm. Yes, sir.
So thank you for calling in about that. That was very helpful. Praise the Most High.
No problem. No problem. Our praises. You have a great night.
You too now. Shalom. All right. I know we have some other people to call in. I'm going to take a quick break, because I just need to go and do something really quick. Let me take a quick break. Just give me a quick break. I'm going to put this on for you guys, and then we will open the calls right back up, okay? 1 second here. I'm going to take your call. I'm going to take a quick break. You can call right back in after my quick break, okay? Okay, Con.
In the city,
I like doing farm chores because it's fun.
I mean, just an example of the farm chores that my kids do on a daily basis. I mean, we have cattle and chickens, and of course we also have cats and, the regular pets and stuff, but it kind of connects them. It connects them to the animals and gives them a sense of responsibility, because that animal is relying on them. If they don't go out and feed it and care for it on a daily basis, it's not like they're free range and they can take care of themselves. The kids actually have to take care of the animal.
I think it's really important to raise your children up with farm chores, teach them how to do things when they're young. Raise a child in the way they should go, and they won't depart when they get older. And I think that even applies in all aspects of life.
We have a 3-year-old son that loves to help with chores around the house. He asks to help us. But every time we're doing something, can I help you, Mommy? Can I help you do this or that? No matter what it is, he wants to help.
I'm 4 years old.
He goes out with me every morning to let the chickens out. And he goes out every evening with Tracy to put the chickens away. And he calls those his chicken chores. He knows how to gather eggs.
Here's a pointy toy.
How to properly put them in the container. And he likes to count them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a half dozen eggs.
Tell me how, and he likes to come inside and tell us how many we got that day. And he's so proud of helping. He loves to help us with the wood stove, as far as bringing in the wood, helping us cut the wood, and loading the stove, and learning the safety of that. That's also important too, for him to know the safety of the stove while he's loading it.
This right here, and you guys can call in. The number to call in again is 281-973-6872. This right here is education on life. Whatever this boy is learning is what he will be good at. This is what he will continue for his family's legacy to bring in the earth. Even if he don't know all the rest of the things people say he must know, he's going to be better off because he knows how to survive outside of a city homesteading. And it can make him actually rich. Selling hay, selling cows, farming, eating healthy and clean food? 678 area code. Who do you have calling in? What's up, my brother? I'm glad you called in, man. Listen, let me tell you, boy, you be putting the work in. You be putting the work in. I'm glad to have the famous. This so y'all know, this is a famous Michael from Humble Servants Homestead. I've been meaning to call her, brother. I've been so busy. But man, what you got for us tonight, my brother? Drop some of them jewels on us. One second, Mike. They said they couldn't hear you. See how they doing? 1 second. Let me fix this really quick. See how they doing this? They like, we can't have this guy on here talking. He gonna give all the jewels away. Okay, you should be good now. Can you guys can you guys hear now? You guys should be able to hear him now. You guys should be able to hear him now. No worries. All right, go ahead, my brother. It's a lag, so they should be able to hear you now.
Yes, sir. So just talk a little bit about the pros and the cons. With homesteading. Definitely. Hey, just having a homestead is a great start. To being self-sufficient. Also having the animals and the chickens out there, those are things, meat and the eggs that you don't really have to go to the store and buy. It's always ready, available on the homestead for you. Just being able to go outside and get in the dirt and grow your own food. Those are some beautiful aspect of it. And that's one of the things that we want to get our people back into start, going out and start doing these things. One of the things that they also have to understand that if they were to go to their grandparents right now and ask them, hey, mom, dad, what y'all used to do for food? Did y'all used to have to go to the grocery store to buy food? And the answer that's going to be given to them is, grocery store, going to the grocery store was very limited. Most of the food and the stuff that they eat either come from the backyard or they either barter or trade with their neighbor.
Right.
And so, that's one of the things that we want to get our people back into. Of course, absolutely. One of the things is as well, just a little tad note I have here is, it's going to take lots of time and commitment. It's definitely not one of those things that you want to just get up and just hit the ground running. You want to make sure you do some, you want to do some research. Oftentimes, like I tell people, I say, look at here, don't quit your job. Don't quit your job, because the thing about it is, if it depends on what scale you're going to do, I would like to all, because you're going to run into, if you say you want to jump off and you want to do it pretty much to make an income, the thing about it is, start small, learn the arts and learn the skills that you're going to need to be able to take care of chickens. Learn the skill that you're going to need to be able to take care of goats and sheep, because you don't really want to go out and go get 10 heads of goat or 20 heads of goats. And, you're going to notice that you're going to run into different aspect where these animals now, they're starting to get sick, or they're getting ill or whatnot like that. And then it's like, oh man, what do I do?
Right.
But if you start small, you get them small, and then say you start with 3 sheep, a ram, or even five ewes and a ram, and learn the basics, and then they're going to have babies.
Explain to them what the ewes and the lambs or ram. Some people may not know. Our people have been kind of gone. They don't know the names of these things. Obviously, I do, but they may not know.
Yes, sir. So a ewe is going to be adult female sheep. That is a ewe. And a ram is a male sheep. So that's what it is. When you get into your lambs and stuff, a lamb is going to be a year or under. That's going to be your lamb.
All
Okay?
praises.
And
Thank
so you have yes, sir. Done. And so, it's definitely one of the things that we want to get our people back into. I'm going to tell you, it may look like, and it's not just look like, it's work. Don't get me wrong. It is work being able to get out there and putting your hands to the plow. But the Most High also tells us that, if you don't work, you don't eat.
Yeah.
So therefore we have to get on out there and start working the ground and getting back into what our forefathers used to do.
Yes, sir.
And I believe if we get started, the Most High will meet us halfway and take us on in the rest of the way. So if you don't never start something, you never know where you will end up. So the main goal is to get started.
Yep.
Get started. You don't have to. And I mean, the thing about it is, I heard you was talking earlier that you could start a homestead on a quarter of an acre, half of an acre, an acre. It all depends on what it is that you want to do when you acquire that property.
Right.
But the fact is that you have a homestead.
Yeah.
Something that you can lean back on, especially when stuff hit the fan in these last days. You know that your food is going to be secure. You don't have to worry about this person is going to cut off this food stamp or cut off this. Your food stamp is going to be in your pantry where you can go ahead and grab the food that you have grown last year.
And guess how it's stamped. Guess how their food is stamped with the date that you stamped it. That's your food stamps.
That's right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so, and that's what we want to let our people know, that it is possible. It is possible. It is work. But hey, we have to work. If we don't work, we don't eat.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever dealt with the issue of some of us new guys when it comes to livestock, of the parasites, or the way you do it, you didn't really have this type of issue?
Actually, I do. I used to have that kind of issue where, parasite. Man, I'm telling you, we have lost. It's a learning lesson where we have lost quite a bit of sheep. We have lost goats. I heard you was talking about the bottle jar.
Yeah.
Where the sheep get it when they have a heavy parasite load, which is the barber pole worm.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that you can do to prevent that, I did hear you talking about the rotational grazing for the sheep and the goats, to where that, you're rotating them, if it's a big area, say you can leave them on for about a week and then rotate them into another area, leaving the land to rest and the grass to grow, and then you bring those sheep back on in. And once you have that process set, you're going to notice that your parasite load on your property will be non-existent. One of the thing is, if you have noticed that you have an animal that's running with the rest of the animals and he's always prone to parasite, that may be one of those animals that you may want to go ahead and either fatten them up and go ahead and process them, or just, sell them, get them fat and sell them, get them off the homestead, because what's happening, that sheep or goat is carrying that parasite, and though the other ones are not catching it at the moment, if he's going out there in that pasture and he's steady eating and he's dropping, it's only a matter of time before he passes it on to the other one.
Okay.
So, and also I hear you talking about the paddocks. Paddocks are real good also to keep down the parasite load on your homestead. Mainly where the parasites, especially the barber pole worm, is coming from, they're eating and they're pooping and they're going back and they're eating off that same grass.
Right.
So once you break that cycle on the property of the barber pole worm, pretty much your process would be pretty good. Have the paddock where those sheep can have a resting period inside of that paddock where you just feed them hay and, get them right, because sometimes we don't have enough property or enough land here to where we can constantly keep them on pasture. So sometimes we have to let the pasture rest by putting them inside of the paddock.
Right.
And then let the cycle go ahead, let the grass grow back up, and then put them back on out.
I'm glad you said that, because I have them. I just built a new section because I noticed. I said, well, when I bought them, I don't think the people were really losing them because they were kind of eating the hay in a dry area, and they were saying that it's hard for the parasites to grow where it's kind of dry. Not that they don't poop on the ground, but they didn't really have grass to eat on the ground. So when they're not eating down, they were having less situation of it. And obviously you got to still maintain that area to keep their bodies clean. But and then some people said, well, just let them out every now and then, like you just said, to just still give them the forage or get some pasture, the sheep and the goats, to just to get some different nutrients in their body. And I was going to do that more so when it was hot, and that is killing those parasites in that area from the sun or whatever. So definitely what you said. I did do some rotational with the little green electric fence, but the issue was it's been so moist where these parasites are growing and crawling up the grass right now. I said I have to take them off of this and wait till the sun is coming back out, because they just keep having it. And so man, I appreciate everything you said, and people said it's classic lesson tonight, and I've been trying to get you on for a while. I know you're a busy guy, and I'm glad that you came on. Maybe you can have you come on again. And if you guys want to know his channel, it's just Humble Servants Homestead, right, brother?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So you go to YouTube, and I'll try to put the link on before the show is done. He has a great channel on YouTube. Let me see if I can get it here. It's called Humble Servants Homestead. Let me go ahead and get it here. Let me see. Humble. Because they becoming famous on YouTube now, so
All praises be to the Most High.
Yeah, what I'm talking about. And then listen, you put the work in for it, so you deserve it. All right. So you better make sure you got that page monetized, brother. Don't play with it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
But yeah, Mike, man, we're gonna be talking again, brother, and I'm gonna get with you soon. I know you can give us some more game, and hopefully one day we can have a homestead or like seminar for the church one day, because this is where things are going. Even if it's at one of the Passovers or something else, but this is an important thing now, because they're trying to. Now I'm gonna tell you, I don't believe that everything is having listeria. I think they're saying this so they can make us afraid. Now I'm not gonna trust it either way, but but I think they're pushing us to say, hey, since everything's catching this and catching that, the safest food is grown in the lab where we can do it perfect. And I don't think they can be more perfect than the Most High, personally. So that's just why I see it going,
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And that's why you see it's, I'm telling people, look, learn these skills now, learn the basics now, because it's going to be obsolete after a while. One of the things that we're trying to work on here is just, proper grass management here on the homestead. Also being able to, most High willing, we can start getting ready to start growing our own corn on a large scale, just to be able to feed our chickens and stuff. So that way we can be totally self-sufficient here on the homestead. So that's just one of the goals, for the future, be a higher's will.
No, that's powerful, man, because I learned something too with that. I said, boy, let me tell you, these Gentiles is not wasting anything. They are taking the corn off, selling some of it for seed, selling some of it in the store, and then the stalk, they grinding that down in the chicken feed. I'm like,
yes, sir.
Man,
yes, sir. Absolutely.
I'm like, we thought we was hustling. These cats are hustling.
Yes, sir. Con, and that's the thing, you know. And these are the machines that I want to start investing in, also to get those shaft cutters, you know, where that they can grind up the stalks of the corn.
Okay.
And one of the things, I don't know if you ever heard of silage, but what that is where you grind up that corn, or even if you have sorghum, you grind up the stalks of the corn and the sorghum, and you mix it with molasses, putting it inside of a 75-gallon drum or 55-gallon drum, and pushing the air out of it and seal the top of it to where no air can get in it, and that can last up to 10 years to where that you can still pull that out and feed your animals.
Whoa.
You know, so yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, that's what I'm talking about.
You could do with grass. You could do with hay that you go and buy from the store, or your hay guy. Chop it up real fine and mix it with the molasses. Put it inside of that drum, and you know, in a time when you can't get animal feed, you have those drums sitting, and you just go ahead, pull out and feed it to your animals.
My man,
you know,
you just dropped the whole bag on us tonight. My man,
yes,
good to hear from you, my brother. I'm gonna give you a hug soon at the Passover. Be the most I will, my king.
Yes, sir. All right, Elder.
All right,
you
now.
be blessed.
You too.
And thank you for all the great work you're doing as well.
You too, my brother. All right, now. Shalom.
Yes, sir. All right. Shalom.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys before I get off the little lamb that came out. This lamb, once you get, we got another caller. Once you get, hello?
Hey, Elder, can you hear me?
Yeah, who we got?
Amber from the Alabama body.
Alabama. All right. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing all right. Can't complain. What you got for us tonight?
Yes, sir. So, do you remember the video you showed? It was probably a few months back where it was a vertical garden. So I purchased that, and I've been attempting to grow things, and I really want my garden to be successful in it this year, but it's like it grows, but it never matures. So
when you say the vertical garden, are you talking about the thing that's kind of like got holes in it and stuff, like the PVC type of thing? Tube garden?
It's the one that had the multiple tiers with it, and you just water it from a top reservoir.
Yeah. So that's more so for like a patio apartment situation where you have starter plants. You need to go and get the starter plants from the nursery, or you can do them yourself with the seeds. It's a skill that you need to learn though. Okay, so it's different when you do it at home with the seeds than the nursery who knows how to get these things popping and moving. Sometime when you start things from seeds at the wrong time, they will have a stagnation, and then they will grow better when it's in their season when they're supposed to grow. So for instance, if you're not growing in the proper, like at the proper time, like if you don't grow, so a lot of things will take, about 3 months to mature. And if you grew them at the late, at the last part of the second month, it's not going to mature. It's going to stay stagnant. And you can give it everything you want to give it, but the plants are alive too, and they also go by the seasons and the temperatures. So that's why they have the temperatures, and the weather is raining or it's hot. It will confuse the plant too. So some people will take things in a greenhouse and control it with certain temperature. So I don't know if that's what you did, but if you are a beginner gardener, I suggest you going by from the local nursery. Find a local organic nursery that sells plants around. They will already have the starter plants, but you need to pay attention to your zone. Look up your growing zone in Alabama. Is it 9A? Is it 9B? Is it 8A, 8B? Is it 7, 6, whatever? And they will have your plants ready for you, but you need to get them at least the first beginning of the month or the latest, to me, at the end of that month, unless you just really got a nice climate out there. And then the plant can reach full maturity. If not, that kale or whatever you grow will stay small for a long time. And then you'll be like, why did it grow 6 months down the line? Because, hey, it was stagnant because you planted it at the wrong time or the wrong season. And sometime growing from seed, you really need to know what you're doing, how to feed the plant, how not to give it too much water, the fungus of the plant. So you're just going to take time studying, trial and error. But I will say the easiest way, just go to the local nursery and learn how to take the ones from the nursery, pop it in the little holes, make sure you water it, don't overwater it, and feeding it some type of fertilizer. I prefer organic fertilizer with some type of good bacteria or probiotics in it, and you feed it that at least, you know what I mean? Don't overdo it. Some people just pour the whole bag of fertilizer in it, you know what I mean? Or you can give it some compost or fertilizer at least. You know what I mean? That season, because if you have a fruit tree, you got to do fruit trees at least 3 times a year. But if you have a plant, you don't want to overdo it. You might need a little bit in the beginning of the season, a little bit at the end when it's starting to produce. So that's probably why you're dealing with that. I used to grow amazing lettuce. I got a trash can. I put a tube in the middle with holes so the water can go, and I stuck it in there. Then I put the soil in there, and then you get your starter plants. You put them in there, and you have to make sure you have something where it's not going to just tilt over and lean. And let me tell you, I had lettuce. I was cutting on lettuce and kale, and I had the PVC with it all in there. It does work, but you're going to have to work at it. But I'm going to tell you the easiest way, just go to the nursery. It's very affordable. You're going to pay $1 a plant. You got a garden center. Garden center sells things for very cheap. And you put that thing in there. Now you're able to stick it's like a starter plant, but sometimes they have a little bigger starter plant, just slightly bigger. And you dig a hole and put that the root in there. Give it a little time and then start slowly harvesting. The roots will get bigger so that it takes over that little vertical garden. So that's my opinion. You just go and get you some starter plants that's already started with. They're made for the area, but you have to plant them ahead of time, sis. So spring is coming up, right? People should be getting their starter plants ready now indoors, or just wait to go to the nursery after any more frost or something. They will have them ready. And you can have them planted right in the end of February, beginning of March, okay? And you should get the full mature plant, okay?
Okay.
Make sure you give it.
My soil not dead. I was gonna ask, how do I know if my soil is not contributing to it?
Yeah, the soil is the life of the plant, no different than our gut. We are made from the soil. We have the same soil probiotics in our gut. If your gut is unhealthy, you are unhealthy. So if you don't have a good balance on your soil, all you have to do is put some compost in there. The compost has living organisms that's going to fix the soil. Always, every spring, add new compost to the soil on the top. And then when you water, it's going to go through it. Or some people sell fancy little things, but good old organic compost with good ratings, never going to hurt. So you can put compost, and then also when you put the plants, a little bit of organic fertilizer, regular waterings, and you should be okay. If you got fungus issues, you can put a little food grade cinnamon in a bottle full of water or peppermint, spray that thing. Some people use vodka to spray their plants from bugs with water. Chlorine dioxide is a very good one. And you know what I mean? So these are good things that you can use. Garlic, some people use garlic oil, or they'll chop the garlic up, soak it in water with onion and red pepper, and strain it and put it in a bottle and spray the plants with that once or twice a week until those cabbage worms or bugs will go away. So many different things you can do, but the main thing is don't be afraid to work at it. Start slow, take your time so you do not discourage yourself. Okay?
Yes, sir. The water.
My sister, Shalom.
Shalom.
I know we have some other callers. Go ahead and call in. I'm going to get my little lamb on here, and I'm gonna get ready to close it out. I gotta go get some of this good old pizza my daughters and them made. My daughters and my white boy, they be making it happen. Okay, let me see. So we showed the children learning the homesteading, man. Let me show you guys this really quick. This is how I started with some of these trees, boy. Lord have mercy. And then I lost a lot. Some of them I still have, but I'm going to bring them up in pots. Have another caller. Shalom, who do we have calling in?
Shalom, this is Sister Tiana from the Antibody under Bishop Lucas.
Okay, Bishop Lucas. That's in what body is that? That's West Coast,
Antioch,
right?
California.
Yeah, that's West Coast. All praises.
Yes.
What you got for me, sis?
I just really had a question. So we're in the city,
Okay.
and we really want to get some chickens, and I just wanted to know which breed of chickens would you prefer for egg laying, or if you have any recommendations for that.
Usually in every area these days, it's just kind of like a fruit tree. It's almost, you're going to get chickens specifically for your area. Every chicken is not good for every area. So what you want, if you want eggs, get layer hens. They're called layer hens. They do not need a rooster to get eggs. If you want to have more chickens, then have one rooster, maximum two, because they're going to be mating with these chickens all day long. These poor, that's just how it goes. And I like, they wake me up in the morning. I like it, but you don't need the rooster. We used to stay in a house we were renting, and I looked up the rules. You can have chickens. I think they had let us have up to 6 chickens as long as the spacing from the neighbors was okay. So even some of you out there, if you don't have a homestead and you have a big backyard or a small backyard, look up the rules. Usually in normal areas, you still can have chickens. You just can't have as much as a person with unrestricted land. But as far as you, sister, get you some layer hens. Okay?
Layer hens. Okay.
Yep. They have different types of
Got
them.
it.
Now, I'm going to tell you this. They don't breed the chickens the same sometime as the other ones where the chickens will sit on the eggs all day. The layer hens are specifically bred to make a lot of eggs. And sometimes they won't sit on their eggs to hatch them. So that's why they have new methods of you using, I forget what you call that little machine, where you will hatch the eggs yourself in the house. I forget what you call that.
Oh, okay, the incubator.
Incubator, yeah. So I actually want the old school hens where they're going to be sitting on it, and then they can just do it themselves and separate them from the layer hens. So I'm going to find some of those pretty soon. All right.
Okay, that's great advice, Lawya. I appreciate it.
No problem, my sister. Shalom.
Shalom, bless you.
Bless you. All right. Praise the Most High. So this is just a little video of when I first got on my land about 3 or 4 years ago. So I was out there putting it in. So you can put your trees in soil, but you don't dig a big hole. But the issue is my type of soil is just not good for trees. It's just not good unless it's native trees. And when they hit that clay soil, they just don't do well. Only trees might do well is some citrus, and but they'll eventually start to grow slow. They will take years to really take off. So I personally decided to just keep all of mine until I get to some other land, to keep them in containers, 100-gallon containers, so I can have enough fruit for my family. It don't have to be a 100-gallon container, but with a big family like mine, I want to grow enough fruit. You do not have to make your trees so tall. You can keep them in a bush and still get a lot of fruit from those trees. They don't have to be so huge and tall if you don't have a lot of room or you want to be managing. When I was overseas on the Greek islands, the trees were short like midgets as a big bush, and they grew they wouldn't finna be climbing them trees. And they took all of those avocados and put them in the stores just like that. Okay? So I wanted to show that. And I'm going to show one more video of the lamb and the little shelter I built for them really quick. So I just filmed this today because I'm still making it. I just made this in 3 days. It took me 3 days to make this. And it's really been helping them a lot. I had them around in the little electric sheep fences, which I'm still going to keep for some cattle around. I'm going to just get some cattle to keep some of this grass down. But I have a little forest area. I'm just going to allow them to go there every now and then to keep the parasite load down. All right. Let me see if I got some sound here. So this lamb just dropped out of nowhere. I was working on the land, getting ready to build something. Out of nowhere, my daughter came to me and said, "Dad, we got a lamb." I'm like, "What? What do you mean we have a lamb?" We didn't even know this sheep was pregnant. We did not know this sheep was pregnant. And the Most High just blessed us because we had lost a little goat. If you watch the Alliance Kids channel, we had a little goat, but the mom was not feeding it enough. And we're new to it. We assumed that when we seen her drinking, she was getting enough, and we lost her, man. So we had lost another one who it was very cold, and she just died trying to give birth. These things happen, but you're gonna learn a lot. So I said, no, I have to have a shelter to keep them warm, make sure everything is there for them. Take a little bit more care of the pregnant ones and watch them to just, you know, be a little bit more on point. Okay. So I had to build this in 3 days, and I had to dig all these holes and concrete these posts in there. So I did all that in 3 days, praise the Most High. You guys can't hear the sound? Oh, you can't hear the sound? Really? 1 second. I don't know what in the world. I don't like that. I don't like that. 1 second here. Let me see something here. Let me see something. Let me see. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me see something. I gotta be able to hear this sound. Let me see. Oh my goodness. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me see, can I do it like this? I'm on Dropbox. I don't know why it's not playing the sound. Let me see. Let me see if I download it. Will I be able to play it like that? Somebody said they heard the sound perfectly. What is going on? One moment, I'm downloading it. Let me see, instead of just playing it online, if there's a better way. Let me see. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me see really quick if it will allow me to do it a different way here. You guys give me 1 second. If you don't mind. Let me see. 1 second. How can I do this? Let me see. AC. Hold on, y'all. AC, you have to call me on Skype. 1 second. Is that QuickTime Player? Let me see. Let me see. All right, we might be able to play it right here. Let's see if y'all can hear it right here. 1 second. Y'all let me know, can y'all hear this, okay? I'm gonna try to do it like that. Let me know, can you hear it now? Tell me if y'all can hear the sound now.
Oh, look at you.
Can y'all hear the sound now? Can y'all hear the sound now? Please let me know. Or it may have just been too low, since some people said they heard it. That y'all can hear the sound now? Okay, cool. Okay, cool.
All right, guys, we're going to a place where I keep the sheep now because the freeze was coming. I had to build something really quick. And believe it or not, I did this in 3 days. I would have done it in 2 days, but I had to take apart some old things that I did through trial and error. So just come and check out what I got. And you see we have a little lamb. We had another baby goat, but it ended up dying because we assumed through learning that the mother was giving it enough milk and it was not. But this lamb just came out of nowhere. So Lawya had a little lamb. Fleece is black. It's chocolate. So I got a lot of things. I have a lot of things everywhere because I still have to clean up and I still have to stain it and I still have to finish it. I still have a lot of work to do in here, but I built the structure itself in 3 days. Check it out. This thing is just hollering everywhere. Hey, look at you. Look at you. Look at you. Come. Look at you.
She's so adorable.
Look at them waves. You getting so big. Look at you. Huh? Look at you, girl. Huh? So you can follow me in here. This is just an area where this is just another little area that's not finished. And I use wood that I had. I will be coming in here to stain and to burn some of this wood, making sure that it doesn't have termites and just different things like that. I'm going to change a few things around. I was going to, put hay in here and they both can eat it on both sides. This is where a mom goat or sheep or livestock will feed their baby. This is a little mating area where I have some to mate. And this is a stall where all of them will actually be in here. And believe it or not, the livestock like the chickens, the goats, the cows, they know to come in when the sun goes down. Exactly when the sun goes down, they are going inside to rest and to go to sleep. Okay, so down here on this floor, you can see I'm actually going to put concrete on this whole floor. I'm going to make this whole thing a concrete slab. And when they poop and stuff like that, we'll be able to just scrape it out. And the ground will be filled with just wood chips because the wood chips are carbon and they urinate and poop out nitrogen, which helps to break down the carbon, which makes your compost. I probably will invite a few chickens in here every now and then just to come and make sure there's no parasites around here. So the chickens will do work, they will do work, and we will get, because right now we're milking the sheep. We had a few milking goats, but like I said, when it comes to these parasites, I've learned a whole lot. So let's come around here. She wants to follow me around just like the little Mary Little Lamb song. Come on. All right. So we still got a lot of stuff on the ground. But and look, they're running in here. But it's already starting to look like a little. Look. Hey, you just stepping on the girl goat. Look, brother.
I mean, a girl lamb.
So, yeah, this is just another little area. And like I said, I keep wood chips in here. I do have diatomaceous earth that I spread on the ground. And I also have something called MMS that I put on the ground with oregano, full grade oregano oil, just to make sure the parasite load stays down. And yeah, and listeria, things like listeria. So, yes, indeed. This is the mother who's actually, this is the mother. I accidentally got hay on her the other day. She needs to be cleaned out. This is the mother who actually had the baby. She used to be afraid, but we're getting her a lot better. We're getting her a lot better. She's a good girl. And that's another brown lamb that we have there. So we're going to be adding
sheep,
more
sorry.
to
my bad.
To our stock again soon. But I just thought I'd come and show you this. I know I've showed you guys the chickens and stuff already.
And I mean, you can do this stuff easy. This is a very easy door. I mean, I just use old wood. You don't really want to go too fancy on this stuff because they're gonna poop on everything. And look, you can put a regular door latch, but I have this temporary one right here. And I'm like, I can actually just keep it on there. Okay. Boom. That's all they need. They don't need much more. Okay. So, but anyway, guys, I just wanted to show you that. And the little lamb followed me around. Come on, girl. Come on. Come on, girl. Come on. Come on, girl. Come on, girl. Come on. Come on. She's gotten so big so fast. Come on, girl. Yes. Come on. Come on. Somebody say good evening. Yeah, she's such a little cutie. But I think her fur and her coat is going to turn white. Okay. You said who's the father? Wings. The father didn't make it. He actually died from barber pole worm. And I have to get me another ram. And this is a little girl lamb. The dad didn't make it. So their fur under is brown and then they turn white later. Ain't that something how the Most High did it? So yeah, the father is not in here. I actually lost a few livestock in this winter time from these parasites. So this is what pushed me to say, you know what? I got to get these guys back how I had them when I first ever started keeping these livestock. I was not losing them like that. I kept them inside of this little sheltered area with hay, and I would let them out every now and then. It seems for me that that's the best way, and the people that I got them from, that they were surviving more. So, yeah. I mean, I had Nigerian goat, Nubian, the top goats. And it just happens. It just happens. So I'm glad that Brother Michael came on here. The other brother came on here and it showed that if you don't educate yourself or you don't know, even if you do know, you're still going to go through some losses before you get the good increase. It's okay. So we make sure we are taking care of her, giving her milk replacement, and also going to give her some creep feed. So it's a lot to learn on the homestead. And but you'll get it together. Here we have some hay. This hay right here is called hay grazer, and I got it for a really good price. I got this hay for a really good price, and it has leaves in it, which the goats like to forage, and some people actually use prize cows off of this specific hay. And I do have a normal prairie hay for the goats and the sheep as well, and I do have a buffet mineral. Buffet mineral means each mineral is in its own section, and it's a wet mineral mix, and it's not just like a salt block or something, so that they can actually get enough of the minerals. Okay, so that really helps them for because the goats like a lot of copper and the sheep do not like a lot of copper. When they need the minerals, they will go and actually get the minerals that they need, and the minerals out of nowhere will start to taste good for them. This is just what I learned. So I'm not an expert, I'm just still learning this. But yeah, I don't want to leave you, little lamb, but I got to go do my show. Yes, indeed. We got to go. We hear the cows mooing. We'll come back and feed you in a little second. All right, guys. So peace and blessings to everybody. And hey, get out there and start homesteading. Let me get these goats. They up in here in the wrong section. Get out of here. Get out of here. What you doing in here? Y'all ready to ran up the goats? This guy here, he's gonna be huge. I'm gonna have to get Caleb to wrestle you again. I make my son wrestle him sometime, and so my son can learn how to be tough. Look, this dude. That little goat right there is strong, man. He's gonna be huge, big breed. He's gonna be a strong one. This one's gonna be a strong one. I got him from someone who had a huge dad. Look, you just grab him by the horns. He's strong. He's strong, but I'm your shepherd, boy. Calm down. Man, you are big already, boy. Yeah, he's doing all right. This guy's looking like a little Rottweiler. Oh, my shirt say, no stress, stay blessed, get your mind right. You can get that from kingmansions.store from Deacon Malak. So, yeah, I just wanted to, you know what I mean? Let me see really quick. Let me put it back here really quick. 1 second. Let me put it back really quick here. All right, because I had one more video I wanted to show, I think. Let me see. Did I? Yeah, just the babies out there getting it in.
Welcome to Lions Kids. I'm Caleb. And I'm Jeremiah. And we're gonna herd some sheep. Come on, let's go. See, they're happy now. Yeah.
So, you know, it's a lot of benefits, like the brothers and sisters been saying, the homesteading. Let me see here.
Cow manure for compost. Our dad uses his tractor to help us pick up the cow manure. We all work together to rake the cow manure. This will be very good for our soil and help the plants to grow.
Hold on.
This is what we managed to get. It's a lot, right? Thank you guys for watching. We'll be posting more soon.
So that's their little job for their channel. And let me tell you guys something. I suggest that you guys get on YouTube, start your own YouTube channels. Even if the church people is not watching, it don't matter. And you don't have to come on there and tell everybody you a Hebrew. You don't have to do that, because you can get eventually money from YouTube as you invest in the time and the consistency of the videos in YouTube. You don't have to be a copycat. Be your own self. Do your own thing. And just don't be like YouTube know-it-alls. Do your own, like, just be yourself. Everybody does not have to be a perfect person. This is called YouTube, being you. I know corny Edomites, thousands of views on there, teaching people how to keep cattle. And they're making money from YouTube. So you be able to travel, making money from YouTube, no matter wherever you go. It's for everybody. It's not just one person that has to have. It's just we don't have to step on each other's toes. If you they do it like this, let me try what I do. Just do your own thing. Just do your own thing. We are not in competition with one another. Do your own thing. Find your own way and get together with your family to do that. And we share our skills and our knowledge with one another. But I'm telling you that because if you got to move around, you still getting checks from just being yourself. Okay, so anybody can do this. And you know what I mean? Whatever type of YouTube channel you want, inspirational, how to, whatever, you guys can do it. So it's time for us to get back to this homesteading. And I just wanted to bring out this tonight, some pros and cons. And we only touched a little bit of pros and cons, but simultaneously, a lot of information came out tonight. Don't forget just to order little basic books like this. And they will help you if the system or the grid goes down. I have a lot of survival books that I have. Make sure, as a reminder, this is a great book for you to have. When it comes to the thyroid, when it comes to learning about iodine, you guys don't even know. I mean, you guys don't even know. Stay tuned, because I'm getting ready to drop something called Lifetime Iron. You will never have to buy iron again in your life. When it comes to you needing iron, especially our sisters and our women. Trust me when I say that. I'm going to mention it on the show. I'm going to be doing videos on my other things just to show you about it. But you will never have to buy iron again, and you will be able to travel with it. And it's so simple as ABC, naturally occurring. Oh boy, you're going to be like, thank you. And it is a lifesaver. You don't have to spend $50,000 just to go, oh, doctor, I need iron. And then you need a stool softener just to go to the bathroom because of the type of iron they gave you. You ain't got to worry about that. I'm praying that when it come out that I have enough for everybody. But it will be here within, I think, a few days. But I'm probably not going to release it till like a week and a half. So get ready. Anybody you need that needs iron, who knows that you need iron, boy, this is going to be simple. I mean, you're going to be like, what? Like, we've been going through all of this, and I can just get my iron natural and not worrying about is it readily available, even if you don't have meat. Even if you don't have meat. Get ready. Because when I bring it, I'm coming. And guess what? It works. I don't sell nothing unless I go through it and use it for a while first. And guess what? Man, boy. You got young ladies, you got women whose time of the month, all that, who's like, oh, I got to go to the hospital, I got to get blood transfer. Don't worry about all that. Don't worry about all that. Get ready to get your body, your mind, and your spirit right. You can put this in your bag, your little bag, your little, what do we call those, little bug out bag. And you're going to be ready to go. I'm letting you know from my head to my toe. No, I'm just joking. Make sure you go to KIYSupplements.com. Make sure you go to historytime.org to join our Hebrew and Bible Academy. Hopefully what was brought out tonight inspired you to start. I may have to do another thing specifically on land itself, but I think a lot came out tonight. And if you don't know, there's some real estate people who's in the church who can probably give you a little information or consult you for a small fee. Okay, so because you're paying for someone's time, so you know what I mean. But anyway, peace and blessings to you guys, and I'll see you soon. Be careful out there. Make sure you have your IDs and your paperwork, and just stay out of these asylum cities if you can, because boy, it's a lot going on right now. Elder Dale, my man, thank you. Elder Rawchaa, my man, bless you, brothers. I love you, brothers. Okay, I got a few new products dropping. I have a menopause product dropping very soon. Okay, to go along with that female enhancement. So yes, stay on the lookout because we got a few things coming. Some powerful things. Make sure you stay tuned. I love you guys. Thank you guys for coming on. Get your hands dirty. Get your hands dirty. All right. Sister Tabitha, Humble Servants Homestead, Brother Mike, thank you guys for always tuning in, your support, and being consistent at what you do so others can be inspired and learn from what you guys do. All right. Peace and blessings to everybody. Keep striving. Yasher Allah and the Jews and Gentiles alike that's in Christ. Shalom, all right?
The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.
Oh, I forgot to mention, I'm sorry. I will be having the selenium available, if it's not already available, this week to go right along with the iodine. All right, just so you guys know, you don't have to be going all over the place. I'll be having vitamin C and all that very soon. So I'm just trying to make the people not